wide-body order in its history. They delivered 45 aircraft in the month of May, including 31 737 MAXs and 7 787s. So good look here. They also hit their 737 MAX production rate of 38 per month in May. So some targets being hit here. Good look for BA. Now BA stands for Bash, as in Bash Brothers. Over to you.
Oh. I just like the guy squatting there at the end. Cause today is like day boom! Oh. Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. That's your boy Joey Options. Welcome to the midday show. Where's everybody at, YouTube?
Where are you?
I don't want to be waiting anymore, man. Let's go, YouTube. We want to do the roll call. All right.
Oh, hold on. I got something to say first.
Okay.
I forgot. Let's go.
Boom! Your mom's stonk broker.
Ooh, okay.
I like how we both started clapping at the same time. Miggy Mog Mo, we got Bovin, we got Yannick, we got Nygaard, we got Daryl, Monty G, Echo Max, and Benton C. Come on, you Gunners! Looks like Zuba Mendy's a done deal there, Benton. What's his name? Fabrizio Romano put it on his gram, and you know what that means. Ooh. Shadow 7S7. We got Why Not? We got Jay Haas. We got trading for tomorrow. Trading today for tomorrow. We got A-Holt D-Loaf. Boom! Right back at you, D-Loaf. We got Mary S. Lyman, who shortened her name now. I like that better, Mary. A shout out to Tara the Dawn, the Millionaire. We got Daryl Finch and A-Holt Artemis, as in NASA's amazing moon program. It seems to be doing very well over there. The Philanthropist, all things Trump and Blue Arrow. Shout out to Rev Boost and Brown Lighting. Who else we got? We got Bob the Dog, Day Trader Cut. We got Sadiq, Ilkin, Joey Jabs. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I seen
Joey
him.
Jabs.
I seen him.
Raul Raval. We got Wispaway and Jassim Khan. Kevin Vasquez, your boys long TSLL. Keep your eye on that. Who else is here, man? Buff Ironside. I like that. Luka Modric. Boo. Desi Junction. Anybody who was associated with Tottenham at any point in their life will be booed by me. All right, what else we got here? Mr. Thumbs Up, Carolyn Van Water. We got Desi Junction, Alongo, Matthew Santa Cruz, Big Finesse. Last one here, Joseph. Lo-fi soul.
Lo-fi, I love a good lo-fi music. I think I'm a lo-fi soul, to be honest with you. I remember back in the day when I first started out trading, lo-fi geek. I used to sit at my desk and just study and run replay and read books and stuff and just listen to lo-fi geek. So shout out to lo-fi soul. I mean, happy Tuesday, everyone. It is a gorgeous day here in the city. Dwayne Walker, my fellow Yachty, what's going on? Yeah, I mean, it was a choppy day for me. You can see that I'm in Tesla. That's starting to work out for me. But my other trades, full disclosure, you know how we do it around here, guys. We talk about our winners. We talk about our losers. I took a couple attempts here on NVDA. Didn't work out. Here you go. That's attempt number 1. Entry, stop out. This one worked out, but then we got stopped out the majority of it. Try it one more time. Add to the position, looking for this breakout, stop out. I entered again, and then I'm like, no, what am I doing? I know much better than this. It's just chopping around. We'll find another time to get in. And then I tried some IBIT as well, too, just looking for the continuation within the strength. And we didn't really get that. So just small paper cuts, a couple paper cuts. But we're cooking up here in Tesla right now, and that's all that matters. So you guys know how we do. I'm down a little bit more than half my shutdowns, just so you guys know. But that ain't nothing for your boy to climb back. We'll go over what we got going on with Tesla, just looking for this continued breakout as the market's getting somewhat of a pop. NVDA might start rolling here, and I'm looking for a big bounce in Tesla. You can see that I've already added to this trade. That's how we do, trying to make this one as big as possible. Hopefully we don't reject this previous high here. And if we can blow past through that, then I think we're going to be able to get into some nice trading here, brother.
All right, guys, I'm keeping my eye here on KWM. This is a small cap gapper. I've put in a dip trade here that seems to want to go unfilled. It's spready. We've been seeing of this a lot. We saw it a lot yesterday with these small cap gappers having a wider than typical spread. This one no different. Right now it's 3 pennies. I've seen it as wide as 11. The dip trade going unfilled as a result of said spread. My idea here is to defend 7, which is kind of overlapping with the 10 exponential moving average. It does not letting me in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a smaller position. Yeah, this thing's just going, man. It's not letting me in at the moment. It doesn't look like it's going to fill that order, so we're going to get out of that. Now, Here's the deal. We still have a lower high than the prior candle. 771 is the previous candle high. Here comes that 7.5. I perceive this as a bull flag formation. So if that is the case, and it is in fact a bull flag, then I should be able to get filled at my level. I don't want to chase these because I got into trouble yesterday chasing them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insist that it come into my level, and I will not chase it. Here's what I'm looking at, though, guys. There's a bunch of small cap gappers. What's going on over there, Katina Man?
Let's go Tesla. My guy, you know my guy Katina Man's in Tesla. You know your boy Joey O is in Tesla.
Go Tesla, go.
Let's go Tesla, go. I'm not taking anything off this just yet, guys. I'm not in the chicken dinner winner because I am trading TSLL, but we added to this position.
Why is TSLL not a chicken dinner winner?
You gotta be in the dollar club.
Why? This is the dollar club right here. That's a chicken dinner winner, my boy.
It's another chicken dinner winner. That is not for lunch. I'm gonna be honest here. Beef strogie, not really my cup of tea. But hey,
a lot of things seem to not be your cup of tea.
Like, whoa, like
be
what?
Quite honest with you over there. Pies, chocolate chip cookies. What else, Joseph? What else are we gonna find out, bro?
Are we going down this road?
Yeah, we're gonna go down this road,
Are we going down this road?
Let me finish my small cap gapper review before we start this. I appreciate you. All right, everybody's yelling about MRIN, so I probably should look at that because it is apparently breaking out right now. The Katina Man is slamming his desk. Usually that means it's a good thing. MRIN, there it is. Let's flip to the one. It doesn't look. Oh no, the Katina Man's amped up. All right, I love that this guy's amped up, bro.
Red to green.
Red to green. Bro, that's the best feeling. The red to green feeling is the best feeling.
I'm not yet. I'm not. But.
Yeah, well, give it some time. So MRIN, guys, I'll have no beef with this one whatsoever.
No Stroganoff,
Huh?
No Stroganoff? Sorry.
I was like, what did he say?
No beef.
I was like, yeah. I was like, what?
No beef.
My ear caught that the wrong way.
I'll let you
Yeah, you're just trying to divert attention now, Joseph. All right, I'm playing. MRIN, let's look at this one quickly, guys. I want nothing to do with this one, and there's a lot of reasons why. Look at that pre-market high. We touched that pre-market high. All hell breaks loose. We head to the downside. I've said this once. I'll say it 1,000 more dang times. Wait until the pre-market high gets taken and taken decisively before you take these small cap gappers long. It's something that I say over and over because I've paid with it, paid for that experience with painful memories. So this one, 176 high. But you know what I'll also say? If the name that you're looking at in question was running aggressively in the aftermarket yesterday because it had an aftermarket catalyst, it's the aftermarket high that has to get taken out from the previous day, not the pre-market high. This one even couldn't take out the pre-market high, let alone the aftermarket high from the day before. So I will not trade this one until it gets into that $2.50 and clears it. And if I miss it, I miss it. End of the story. So now we're long KWM. It's coming down aggressively here. Where is the volume weighted average price? It's at 660. So let's go ahead. We're going to wait at 69er. Joseph's getting amped up there. We're going to see what we get. Anything below that $6.50 area, we're gonzino there because that's where the volume weighted average price is. KWM up 25%. But it could be trouble. Let's see how this one does. What do you got, Joe?
Yeah, good look there, brother. I mean, that's why Sean and I were talking earlier. That's why it's so important to just have good risk to reward. And then when you have the ability, I talk about this all the time, is that you want to make your winners as big as possible. I put on, so I took about 3 losses on Tesla and then went 0 for 2 on IBIT. Okay, so again, not shooting a good percentage. But I have 1 win on that's literally eliminated almost more than half of my losses. So that's really, really important when it comes to risk to reward. I took 10% off right there, guys. I'm going to take another a couple percentage points off here just because as we continue this breakout. But that's just really, really key. Glad to have gotten involved in this. I seen that it looked like it was going to break out. I had 2 names on my watch list this morning. That was IBIT looking for the continuation in last night's strength. You can see in the post market, we did climb up to 110, which is good news for that. I do believe that we are going to put in a new all-time high, and that's one thing that I was asking everyone here on the floor this morning was like, does Bitcoin put in a new all-time high today? It's not looking like that's going to be the case, but I wouldn't write anything out just yet. It's still relatively early.
I like what Adara said there in the morning too, brother. Is like a lot of the all-time highs that we get seem to be off peak hours or on the weekend.
6
you know what I mean?
Or you're gonna wake up on the weekend and see that Bitcoin's putting in a new all-time high. Yes, I couldn't agree more. I think maybe the Asian markets are something along those lines. The European markets kind of just pushing things higher, just continuing the strength. They're like, oh, over in the Western world, these guys are pumping Bitcoin, et cetera. We're gonna look to join this one, but let's go here in Tesla. We got a lot to talk about this morning, getting a nice move here in Bitcoin. I also grabbed some contracts yesterday. That I told you guys about. So full disclosure, I let you guys got some stuff for us.
I do have some things here. So I'm going to pull up the market. Here's the Nasdaq. Apparently, I'm just seeing here through an X, U.S. and China have concluded their trade talks in London. So it looks like those talks seem to be over. Again, we'll have to wait for more details here. Also, keep an eye on Robinhood. Apparently, Representative Rob Brushtahan has just disclosed a new 30,000, I can't tell if this is 30,000 shares or $30,000 here in Robinhood. Let's pull this up. But either way, he is apparently only the second politician to purchase Robinhood. Yeah, so it's valued around $30,000, his purchase here of HOOD. Nothing major, but nice bounce off the bottom here for HOOD, which apparently, I guess, is getting some love from politicians now. Good look for Robinhood as we send you back to the desk.
Thank you for that, Adara. Yeah, Robinhood very much in vogue these days. Joseph, yourself included, liking that name as well. Shout out to the hooded one. Shout out to Vlad Tenney. You know, he's got
our guy Tenny over
He's got some detractors. He's got some detractors and proponents. Opponents. No, detractors and proponents, Adara, right? Yeah. Adara, look, I always check with Adara because, you know, she knows what she's talking. That's fair. I'll give you a pass on that one, Adara. What's happening over there?
I want to see if we can catch this fill here. Oh, look at that look at the strength on the tape there. Come on, how come we can fill us? Come on.
Get it, tape.
Come on, fill us. Come on. All right, yeah, a little lackluster there. Sorry, apologize about that.
That's okay. It's not up to you when you get the print, but it's a good trade nonetheless.
Yeah.
All right, what we're doing it live. All right, so here's what we're doing, guys. We got a couple of outs here on KWM. Printed at 20s, printed at 25s. We're long 15, set up at 35 now. Let's go ahead and wait at 45. That's the good news. The bad news is that dip trade, we missed by about, I want to say, 7 or 8 pennies. So I'm a little disappointed with that. That's on a technical way to look at it, 7 or 8 penny miss. But we know what the issue is with the spready ones. It's got to cross on the bid for me to get printed. That likely wouldn't happen. So why I put this dip trade here, that you can see that green circle on your chart right there. On my chart on your screen, that was to front one or defend, I should say, the 10 exponential or the volume weighted average price. We're still putting in lower highs. So even though I was able to extract something on this, we are still putting in lower highs on this. So I still like my dip trade here for possibly being filled. If we end up making higher highs, fine. I've got shares on this one. We're not taking small shares on KWM. We'll see what we get and we won't get upset. Here's what I'm looking at. I see you, Tisha. I see you. I see you, Bovin, as well. AQMS. Let me just have a look at that one quick. Make sure that I'm not missing anything out on that. Yeah, okay, D's. So what do we got here on AQMS? We got AQMS. We got $10.5 million market cap. What's the volume? 1.4 million shares. Yeah. Okay, not a bad look, Bovin. I'm going to pack my patience with that one. So KWM I'm involved in right now. ARAI. I see, Mary, I saw you mentioning ARAI. Good look, very respectful of the volume weighted average price. Kind of hard to tell whether it was a VWAP retracement here or a 10 exponential. I guess we'll be able to tell shortly. This is another small cap gapper that suffers from that same affliction of being very spready, okay? Look, I can just tell, look at this thing. It was at 14.89, now it's at 15.29. All right, so this thing is absolutely wild. ARAI, it's very profitable if you make money, but it can be just as bad or even worse if you lose on this one. But look at KW frickin' M. Go, give me my money, man. All right, there we go. We're doing it frickin' live. We're taking out levels. We're setting up at 65. Now let's see what comes from KWM here, Joseph. Big boy breakout on KWM.
Wow, you're in the
we're not in the club yet, but hopefully we'll be soon. So KWM on one right now. Joseph, ARAI is breaking out as well. Guys, they are all moving here to the high side. Both these two, both of them on the left screen. ARAI 1573 high day. KWM still well off that high day at 810. 10, but looking at breaking out above $8, I would submit to you that that is the real level here, that $8 level. I'm also keeping an eye on RFL. This one a bit of a cheaper name and a bit of a slower mover. Also, you have a declining volume profile here on RFL, so trade that carefully. On the top right of your screen, you'll see that I've got QUBT on there. I mean, and quantum's in vogue. You know, some days you get days like yesterday where it looks like a sound wave where it did bupkis, and then you got days like today where it looks like a beautiful looking bull flag. I'm less likely to want to base anything on QUBT on the volume weighted average price because it zigged and zagged through it like it doesn't even matter. It looks like a line of best fit here. So kind of unsure how to work my way into QUBT. Last but not least, before we send it back to Joey Options, IMNN. This one very strong as well. It's up about 15% on the day, cheaper. It's $1.50, so you can size in substantially here. Let's look at the daily quickly on this name. Look, so this one has already been moving. It was moving in late May. It looks like it gave up the ghost earlier in the early part of this month. V-shaped or a Christmas tree retracement. Finding, though, support for whatever reason at that $1.50. So we'll base something on IMNN on that $1.50. We'll keep an eye out on this one, Joseph, but the other one's breaking out right now.
Yeah. Good luck there. Okay, as soon as I get the good to go, we're gonna send it over to Adair with a breaking news. All right, let's go.
The catalyst we've talked about the most, or at least that we've seen the most news on in the last couple days, it's Meta. Yesterday, I guess we had some reports here that Meta was looking to invest about $10 billion in Scale AI. Then this morning, we have some talks that Meta is going to be, I guess, trying to assemble a secret team for AGI, personally assembled by Mark Zuckerberg. Now we've got another update, the information reporting that Meta has agreed to take a 49% stake in Scale AI for $14.8 billion. That is, I think, in line with what I was seeing as the valuation for Scale AI, but it is well above the 10, or not well above, but significantly above the $10 billion valuation we were seeing here, or $10 billion investment we were expecting from Meta. So Meta here looking to invest $14.8 billion for a 49% stake in Scale AI, as reported by The Information. Back to you.
That Adair. Take it over, baby.
Yeah, pull up the old screen. Yeah. Good stuff here, guys. We just caught an additional fill. You can see I posted up at 12:30 there on TSLL. We'll go over the losers here momentarily, but we have to manage this trade here. And yeah, Ronnie, I'm honestly not going to get into a grammar debate here.
Seriously?
It's not that deep. Yeah. Well,
let's chill out there, bro.
Yeah, it's not that deep, to be honest with you. But yeah, what we're really focused on here, Mr. Ronnie R, is are you putting on these good trades? That's all that really matters.
Get it, Ronnie.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, let's go, guys. Looking pretty good here on Tesla. I still have about 66% of the position left. I'm letting this ride. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm set up well enough right now in order for this trade to eliminate all of my losses. But what we can do is try to hold on for the majority of it. Just slowly pick away. Let's go, Tesla. Oh boy. I just channeled my inner Obi right there. Oh boy. I mean, yeah, it's a good look, guys. So let's break it down, actually. So
break it down.
This morning, I knew it was going to be a little bit of a choppy mess. I took my trades and I risked half my shutdown. It didn't work how I wanted to. Sharif's like, Joe, I seen you out there walking. I'm like, yeah, I just went for a nice casual walk. I wasn't upset. I wasn't tilted or anything like that. I just literally wanted to go outside. I'm like, I'll come back a little bit later to see what the market is presenting itself because what I see right now is not that good of a setup for any of my systems. So I'm like, all right, let's come back. If there's something there in a couple of minutes, then you know what? We're going to look to take advantage of it. And that's exactly what we've seen when I sat back down. I'm like, let me be patient here. Tesla could break out. I mean, it was oversold with that Trump and Elon tariff, rift between them. I think that there was nothing fundamentally changed. So do I believe that we can get back to those prices that we've seen before all of that happened? Absolutely. And with that, you need to be patient and wait for specific setups. The market isn't going to move in one direction all the time. It will try to wave all the weak hands out. It will stop you at multiple occasions, as we've seen today. If you're a breakout trader, it's probably not that good of a day for you. Enough ammunition in order for you to take multiple trades, and that's exactly what we displayed here. So there we go. Yeah, the escape. That's what I said. That's what I thought. Anyways, we're not getting all into that. I'm pretty sure Sharif is right on that one. I would put my money on Sharif. Well, when you say join Joseph and I on the thing, I said that's the correct thing. Somebody wrote, I'm not going to mention the name, says join Joseph and me, or me and Joseph. And I said, hey, I thought it was Joseph and I, which I'm
pretty sure it is.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I said we're not going to get too deep into this. This isn't middle school or anything.
Seriously, guys?
Yeah, it's not middle school or anything like that. We're trying to make this money. We're putting on these trades. We're displaying these for you guys. Katina Man's long this. NVDA continuously not breaking out. I want to show you guys these trades anyways. NVDA on NVDL. That just didn't work out for me, right? So again, we'll go over our losers. So I went again for the move back towards the volume weighted average price. Was just too early, get a better entry. This was working out really well for me, but the tape wasn't displaying the amount of strength that I wanted to see, so I didn't add into it. I take some off, and then I eventually just cut it before it would have came back to my break even. I then try another attempt for the break of the volume weighted average price. Slowly started to work for me. I seen the volume pick up a little bit here. You can see that we start to stair step, which is really important. That's why I added. But I also told myself that if I add here and it goes back into the middle of the range, I have to get out because it's just choppy, and you can see that displayed. Try one more time, comes back up. I'm like, you know what? I'm forcing it. See you later. I'm not going to continuously try to beat a dead horse. If it's not going to work, or milk a stone. So boom, I just left. I tried a couple of trades on IBIT. Didn't work out for me. Go for a nice walk outside. And then there we are. Now we put on this Tesla trade. I see a lot of people tagging me in the chat. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters.
It doesn't matter, my boy.
It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters right now is that Tesla's starting to pull back a little bit. Let's see if this breakout can be sustained.
All right, guys. We're getting a lot of super chats. I'm in a couple of new positions. We're going to get to them in 1 second. Thank you, JV. $2. Hi, Sharif. 3-year auction at 1 p.m. Any advice? We'll get back to that, Jay, because we'll talk more about it as we get closer to the auction. Thank you for pointing that out. Adara's already got that covered, but thank you for pointing that out. We will cover it closer to the time. Brian Herman, $10 super chat. My man's getting rich there in the chat. Shout out to him. Thank you, Brian. You guys are amazing. No, Brian. No, Brian.
Ooh.
You're amazing. There we go. There he is. There's my man. So good, bro. Get goosebumps every time that thing comes on. My God.
That's a little bit of a push. But
I'm talking about myself. Childhood memories.
Okay,
that's all I can
that's
say
fine,
right
that's
there.
Fine.
Yeah.
We don't want to rain on the old parade. Okay, so we don't want to rain on that parade. But Sharif, this conversation between me and I is going crazy in the chat right now. I guess it's a little bit different in America, but here in Canada we say Sharif and I. It's the same rule. Everyone said, listen to what Adara has to say.
Why don't you ask your friend Copilot?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's see what Copilot has to say. Because ChatGPT's down. We can't ask Chat.
I'm down to join this conversation.
We want to hear it,
Here's the thing. So I think what we've all been raised on, what I was certainly raised on, what I used to do was, like, you want to say and I, right? People say if you say and me, it's always incorrect. But there's a bit of a gray area, right? You have to think about it. How would it sound if it was just you? So if you're saying come join me, you're not going to say come join I, right? But people still think it sounds wrong if you say come join Sharif and me or come join Joe and me, because we've been taught that and me is always wrong. So it's really situational. I mean, there are certain cases where it is wrong. It's like, I'm going to the store. You're not going to say me going to the store. You're not going to say, like, so Sharif and I are going to the store would be correct.
Adara, I have a question. Yes. I thought it was just putting the individual first before yourself. So, for example, let's say me and Adara, or yeah, you know what I mean? Obviously, it doesn't work, but it's Adara and I. So would it also be incorrect to say Adara and me, even though I'm putting you first?
Yeah, I mean, if it's Adara and me are going to the store, it's still not, like, you wouldn't say me, I'm going, right?
Weird.
So you have to think about how would it sound if it was just you. That's what I use for it. But I mean, I will say I always do and I think generally.
Likewise.
So, like, who knows? Anyways, I'm done now.
Thank you, Adara. Boom.
Look what you started, Ronnie.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, no. The English majors are coming in the chat, not the English majors.
No, it's all love and games.
Oh, my goodness.
It's all good. Pizza Rat. Yeah, exactly. English, my guy Pizza Rat's in the chat, sweeping LH. Where's Mike DeRider? I haven't seen him.
He's out deriding, bro.
Yeah, he's
busy,
out deriding.
Man.
For sure. No, he's told me I think he's hiking. So yeah, it's good seeing everybody in the chat. I think I'm going to take a little bit more out. because someone in there mentioned, said, hey, Joe, there is a call wall at 320 here on Tesla with 24.4 thousand open contracts right now. So I think I'm going to take a little bit off. I'm going to take exactly half of what I got remaining just because, to be smart. And then if it decides that it wants to turn around, then we'll look to get at it. And we're not going to obviously live in large. We're not going to say that out loud.
No, man, come on now.
Bro, show some respect, please. Please, please, please. But thanks for the $5.
Just think about, you know, like how you would, you know, just speak to their face, right? Like,
exactly.
And let's just keep it respectful, guys. Exactly. All right, ARAI is at the 10 exponential, and if history's any guide, well, it'll hold. So we're going to give this one the old college try. Let's give this one to below the 50 penny level, excuse me. Then we're going to have to give it a sizable spread because this one is a spready ticker. So we're going to set up, where are we long? 87. So let's go ahead up and set up in the 90s as well for a possible move back up. We're going to give ARAI a try, even though it's a bit of a deeper retracement over here, coming back down a little bit aggressively into that 10 exponential moving average on the 5. But this one we're doing real well on right now. IMNN taking out all the tops, taking out all the way to 60. So let's go ahead and set up on the north side of 60 for a nice breakout there. Keep an eye out on that. Also, keeping my eye on RFL. I weaseled into this one. Look, I'm out of the money on this one, so this one's going to have to hold that 10 exponential. It's already giving up the ghost at $3, but that's not what I got into it for. I got into it for 10 exponential retracement. I am worried about this topping tail candle that probably bamboozled everybody and their mother's cousin getting into this trade, so we're going to keep tabs on that. Let's look back now at ARAI, see if we can extract some prints to the high side as it dips into that 10, but right back into the 80s it goes. Does it pass back and move into 14? Keep in mind, the high of the day right now, 1573, and you know the previous retracements at around 1040, 1045, 1050 at the 10 exponential did hold. So that's why I'm trying to put the odds on my side here by getting in at a level that I perceive to be a good technical level. And we just got the first print there. So let's go ahead and set up now. Boom to the high side, 14. Seller at 14 for whatever reason. Can't shake them, can't shake them. We're going to take out some more there because we can't shake that seller at 14. There is a seller here, a hidden order, an iceberg order, as the kids say, at that $14 level. We're unable to print anything above that $14 level for whatever reason, so it just extracted some profits there. That is interesting that it did that. Okay, so I need to be aware of that. There was a lot of shares that chopped and churned there at 14 that we couldn't really break through. So good to extract some profits there on, what's it called? ARAI. Just blanked out for a second there, focusing on other stocks. Let's go and have a look back here at RFL, still not stopping me out, but not breaking out either. And then KWM, we're all done our trade on that. That was a good trade. And IMNN, we're still holding on to this one. Okay, 1 second before we go to Adara. Boom. Get it, Adara.
Get it, Sharif. AbbVie on watch here. Nice bounce off the lows. AbbVie, the CEO of the company, apparently speaking here during this Goldman Sachs conference, saying that presidents with Donald Trump, saying that conversations with President Donald Trump on drug reform have been apparently productive. So we know drug pricing reform has been on watch here. Trump reportedly speaking to some of these CEOs. Apparently, according to AbbVie at least, it's going quite well. Back to you.
All right. We're doing it live.
All right.
So we extracted some profits there on ARAI, super quick as you like, as people say these days. All right, so I'm just keeping my eye here on the positions, and I'm quite displeased with how I am executing now on RFL. So we're 3 for 4. RFL will be a loser, it looks like here, okay? RFL is a problem. It's at the 10 exponential. It's not losing the 10 exponential with any vigor. And the volume weighted average price at 280. So I'm caught in between two minds. Do I dollar cost average aggressively into that volume weighted average price, essentially into 280? Okay? Or do I stick with my original area stop where I had it below the consolidation area low? And I just got decided for me because it just absolutely lost the bid. So now I will punch in at the volume weighted average price if it holds up here.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the market just took a massive dive there, guys. Good. All right, I'm free rolling right now, so I don't have much room. If Tesla comes back, because I did add to this position, okay, yeah, I got to get out there because the market's absolutely tanking. I was thinking that Tesla was going to hold up, and then maybe we can continue. But we took a big-time nosedive here in the Qs. Curious to see what that's all about here. You can see that we broke through some key resistance zones. So hopefully we have another opportunity to get involved in Tesla because that was working out relatively well for us. Looking for that continuation of the trend. So I added to that position. I was free rolling, so I had to stop out before I gave up all my unrealized and then turned a positive trade into a negative one. So it didn't work out how I necessarily wanted to. We're going to go to Adara because there has to be some news that just hit this market, guys.
I'm not sure if this is what it is, but I'm seeing some people attribute the drop to this. We had the 52-week bill auction. Now, usually these auctions we have at 11:30 don't move the market at all. We're going to be watching this 3-year note auction coming up much more closely. But regardless here, I'm seeing the 52-week bill auction. But I think the drop actually has to do with the story that just came out, just seeing now. Apparently, Iran is becoming much more aggressive in its nuclear talks. That's according to Donald Trump. So Donald Trump talking to Fox News, saying that Iran's becoming a lot more aggressive in its nuclear talks. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, that could definitely lead to this market sell-off here, guys. So now it's just our job to be patient, to wait for any forms of indecision, and to determine if, hey, we're going to continue to the south side, or we might be able to find some stopping volume and some VPA signals that will lead us into the right direction for a potential bounce here in the market. But Iran eating things up with their nuclear game, that's not something that I personally want to hear, nor does the market, as you can see that being displayed today, guys. So yeah, be patient, wait for that volume. Now the volatility has stepped in, so keep an eye out on the VIX as well, because that's going to be spiking. With all of that, you got to think of the ripple effect that we're seeing. The market's selling off here, guys. The VIX is increasing. With that comes increased options premium. So around the table, you have to be patient, especially if you're looking for those longs today, unless you're participating to the downside. Make sure that you wait for those definitive signals, and if you're jumping the gun, you can't get mad at yourself for getting in too early, especially when you see that volume come into the south side.
Sorry, just give me a second here.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so yeah, that's what I got going on. That was my game plan. Let's break down this Tesla trade. So I seen that momentum slowly start to pick up, but then I'm like, okay, we had a couple of indecision prints here on TSLL and Tesla, and I'm like, okay, so if the market decides that it wants to bounce, we're holding up relatively strong, and I'm getting in at the right place. But instead, you see that volatility spike to the downside, and sure enough, I had just had to get out before I turned a positive trade into a negative one. But otherwise, I was looking to add into this position and make it substantially bigger than what my losses currently are. But unfortunately, we didn't get that opportunity. Yeah, but I do believe we will. There's a good VPA signal right now on the 1 minute. I'm going to be patient with that there, guys. But make sure that you hit that like and subscribe.
You have the option to like and subscribe. This trade has unlimited upside.
Okay, I mean, we don't, again, I say this all the time, so maybe we do ask for quite a bit, but just hit that like, hit that subscribe, just a click of a button. It's not going to do you any harm.
So ARAI just absolutely flushed off the top, 1573, dropping below 12, losing VWAP, losing the 10, losing basically everything here except the 50 and the 200, off which I don't base intraday trades, but it lost the 20 as well, and it's on the way down to 12. This does seem like a bit of a consolidation area here, even though it is below the volume weighted average price. Look at this chop and churn area where we definitely had support at the $12 area. So this could be an interesting pickup area, although I'm much more hesitant picking it up here. ARAI is the one that I'm talking about. Everybody's been yelling about this one. We were involved in this one quick for a scalp, so perhaps an entry into this one here at this $12 level, but it's giving up the ghost at the level 1186, 12. I mean, we could, I don't want to trade this here. No, look at it, just lose the bid. Oh my goodness. ARAI is absolutely flushing to the downside. It just lost 12. Yeah, there's really nothing for me over here on ARAI. Well off the high. Now, it's still up 83%, but not tradable under my system at this level. So I'm just not going to even bother with this one. The one that I want to start working into is KWM. Okay, this one I perceive this one to be doing a lot better in terms of what's it called? chart patterns. It's got higher lows with a flat top through 8. So I believe this one could be a bit of a banger. Let's go ahead and set up. First out, we're going to look at 80. Second out, we're going to look at 90, okay? And then we're going to try and hold a piece for the dream, obviously, above that $8 level. So we're going to set up at 98 for the third one, and then we're going to go way high here at 815 for, excuse me, there we go, just putting that, 815 for the one above 8. So KWM looks like a good one here. You never really know how this is going to go, so keeping my eye out on this one. I like this look, this kind of chart pattern that we're seeing here on KWM, where you're getting a bull flag. And in addition to the bull flag pattern, you're getting higher lows on that consolidation area of the bull flag with essentially a flat top through 8. That doesn't mean you won't have bamboozlement in the interim before you get that flat top break through 8. So that's my perception of it. Let's keep an eye out on that. I'm still involved here in RFL. Boom to the high side on RFL. So we'll take some prints over here. We got some at 95. Where are we long on RFL? 84. We just got 95s. Let's set up in front of 3, and then we're going to set up north of 3 over here at 05s, and then we'll set up at 10s on the next one there. So RFL in focus, but really keeping my eye on KWM. I feel this one has explosive potential. There was bamboozlement below the 10 exponential moving average on one of the candles that was basically putting in the higher lows and higher highs. It's that candle in the 5 right at 1110 that did breach the 10. It did hold the 20. And it did hold VWAP. And there we go. We're taking out all the prints to the high side over here on my friend KWM. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to see if we can take out 8, and then I'm waiting at 815. Let's see if we can get that flat top break. We know what the flat top break is. It's an ascending wedge. It's just another way of saying it. It's a reliable pattern. Whether or not it happens here, we're going to take it out. Boom! To the high side again on frickin' KWM. We're doing it live. Let's set... Sorry, guys. I'm a little hyper today. I do apologize.
It's the thing. That, show them what you got going on.
Oh, I didn't even show everybody, guys.
Show them what you got going on.
Okay, well, I might have to get up for this one. Why are you laughing, Ram? All right. I got myself a little massage thing over here.
This is 43, guys. This is 43.
What do you mean 43? What's happening over there? No, look. So this is my little Obis Form massage seat over here. It comes with your own very nice remote, air conditioned and heated. Shout out to that, maybe. So, you know, we're doing it live. Everything's fine over here. Everything's fine. No, but don't worry. Look at this, Joseph. We're taking out all the prints. There goes the flat top break on KW dang M. Very happy with this trade. Let's see if it reverses. It's an 822 high, Joseph. We just printed out that high right now. I'm waiting at 25s. You guys already know how it is. We're continuing to wait there. So keeping my eye out on this one. I'm talking about KWM. It's at 829 right now. Where's my print? There it is, boy, boom. We're doing it again. Sorry, guys. All right, we're going to set up at 35s now, Joseph, and now we're going to set up at 45s. What do you got, my man?
Yeah, I'm in the TQs. I'm just looking at this Tesla trade. I should have hopped back in, but that's okay. I hopped in some TQs, really small to start off, just to see if we can get this cooking. Because if the big names don't, if not all of the big names want to participate, then this isn't the name that you want to be in. You want to find an outlier, and I think that's Tesla on the day. So you can see that it's continuously climbing. Off of that sell-off, it wasn't as aggressive as some of the other mags. So this is what I like.
Why does he do that to me, bro? You think that we're friends.
Yeah.
You think that we're friends, but basically from the comments, no one would be able to discern that.
No one would.
They'd be like, Sharif's getting the you know what bullied out of him. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like, well, why you like this, Big Spy? What'd I do to you, bro?
$5 super chat from Big Smile. Joe.
What a liability.
Sharif's back hurts from bending over the sink and working them eyebrows over. Yes. Hey, man, eyebrow game strong. You can't be.
Bro, I was in like third-year university.
And you got them done?
Bro, that was 2007.
You got them done?
Yes. Yes.
Damn. All right, then. It's all right. It's all good, man. It's all good. To each their own, you know?
Whatever, bro.
I would do them. I should get
I don't do them anymore, but, you know, whatever. Back in the day, it was fashionable. I had the little soul patch, too.
Did you,
Can I just...
did you ever do the 2 lines in the eyebrow?
Neil almost choked on his ledge.
Did you ever...
No, I never did that.
Yeah, I got it.
You got that done?
Yeah, I got into that.
So why are you bullying him then, Big Spile?
You don't know. There's no evidence.
Well, there you go,
right?
bro. There's no evidence of that.
There's no evidence of that.
All right, we're doing it live, guys. We're having a good time. Thank you for the super chat.
I don't got much size on with this trade, guys, and I don't know if it's going to give me a good ad opportunity, right?
Love you, brother.
Full risk, because I'm like quarter risk right now, just because of the profile was pretty wide, and I wanted to start small, and I was waiting for a pullback lower, and I could have got in a little bit better and sorry, make my risk to reward slightly increase, but that's not the case right now. So we'll see if we can get that move into the volume weighted average price, and if we have the ability to breach it and hold, then that's going to give me an ad opportunity. But right now, you can see from the volume by time profile and the 1 minute interval, we are decreasing as we're appreciating in price. So that's not the best signs for me to add into this right now. But I'm not saying that we can't pick up because you can see we're starting to squeeze. So I mean, when we have such a vigorous move, or a strong move, I guess I should say, then you can get an equal reaction, right? So that's exactly what I'm looking at right now. Want to see it start to pick up. If we can break VWAP, maybe this was just a big enough liquidity grab for us to get out of this consolidation phase and then head north of the volume weighted average price, break through some pre-market resistance zones, break through some intraday resistance zones, and then continue to move to the northeast. So that's exactly what I'm looking at right now, guys. I do want to add substantially to this position just because the risk that I have on is puny.
All right, Joseph, we're going to do a lower back and thigh massage. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put it on medium intensity, and we're going to do left to right.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to go left to right, side to side, as this thing calls it. Oh, that's good.
Oh my days! All right, I don't know, man.
Don't worry about it, bro. Over here, you know, everything's fine. We're having a good time over here, bringing these toys to work, guys. We're doing it freaking live on IMNN. This keeps taking out highs. It's not the biggest mover on the day, but it's a predictable bad boy over here. I'm keeping my eye, though, on KWM because it's coming back into my entry. What I want to see here is a hold above the 10 exponential. We got an ugly-looking topping tail candle right now, okay? That goes to 848. That's the bad side of the equation. The good side of the equation is we're still holding the 10 exponential. So I've got one out left here on KWM. What I want to see, does it hold that 10 EMA? And now I'm just thinking out loud here, guys, should I be adding at 7.5? That is where the 10 exponential is. A little bit higher now. It's at 760 something. So should I be adding there? Or have we gotten that flat top breakout through 8 and now you're going to be, you know, picking up the trade on the wrong side here? That's kind of the question I'm asking myself right now. I don't know how to feel about this. I'm going to get out, okay? Break even, or 10 pennies actually, on the last remaining out there, and I will be watching intently to see whether KWM actually holds up at the 10 EMA, the 10 EMA on the 5. If it does, I'm more than free to get back in. It's losing it, and it's losing it aggressively. There's that 7.5. Does it continue to bleed? There's a buyer at 48 there that was preventing it from dropping any further. Does that buyer have enough in the tank there to keep this bad boy back up? So I'm going to keep my eye here on KWM. Big move up into 8.5 and then a bigger move down, $1 basically from the top to the bottom within 2 5-minute candles. So KWM, okay, so it is finding some support there as I expected, right up into 780s. Decisions, so hard with these ones that are super spready, Joseph. They just make you, really think twice about entering, because if you enter in with size on these spready tickers, they can be $1 on the wrong side super quickly, right? Like and Dara, when you're trading the $300 name, you kind of expect that. I get it. You've already conditioned yourself to that. When I'm trading,
really scary though. Like I
100%.
like $2-3 on Lily with size.
Yeah, and then that's fair. And Adara's been doing this over and over and over every day with these very expensive, widespread tickers. So she's, she's obviously adept at that. With these small cap gappers, that isn't the move. The move is to be able to capitalize on smaller price action movements within a smaller window of time. And it just, when they're spready, it just makes it hard, okay? So that's really all I can say about that. So KWM in focus right now. RFL also in focus as this one continues to try to retrace off the volume weighted average price and work its way up to 3 on RFL. We have 84s. It's showing me 95s. It's time to take some profits at 90. Oh, that won't be the right thing because then we'll be out. So RFL, we've got shares on. Let's go ahead and wait at 95s. I'm gonna extract lesser size on every out so that way I can layer my orders into the high side there. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait there for a move into that $3 area on RFL. And IMN, as I mentioned, kind of finding resistance in the low 60s. I'm talking about $1.62. It did double top there at that $1.62 area. So we'll keep tabs on that. But there's another one, guys, I negated to mention, and this one is on me because I've been watching it the entire time. LVWR. Look at this beauty. It doesn't even know what a 10 EMA retracement is. You want to know why? Because it hasn't touched it on the day. Okay. Even that opening print there, Joseph, right at 1025 when we started getting volume. And that is the last time there was any interaction between LVWR and that 10 exponential moving average on the 5. This one opened up just south of 6 at high 590s, and it's an $8 high a day. I'd like to see what it does at around 7.5. It is getting a little extended there away from that 10 EMA, which I use kind of as an informal gauge of overbought and oversold, much like you would use RSI, but in a bit of a different way. So I'm going to keep my eye on LVWR. Very interested in weaseling into this one if it will allow me to weasel. IMN taking out levels, and here we go. We printed a new high a day. I'm waiting at 163. That is what it's showing me on the ask. Likewise, with my very good friend now, RFL, taking out 96s. I get printed there, and now I'm waiting at 3s. Go RFL, go up 31.5, Joseph.
Nice, good look there. Yeah, we can take a look at the meta options chain for sure here momentarily. Yeah, but this is what I got going on. Yeah, Gaurav, I mean, the thing is though, on this TSL, I'll show you guys what I had going on and just kind of what my thinking was. I didn't, so here it is. All right, so I add, and then I make this position substantially larger. I take some off, so I do get that top tick, but then I'm looking for the continuation of the trend, and then I add right here, because there's a couple indecision prints. So I'm like, okay, let me get involved here a little bit more. Let me put back all my size that I took off here, and then I was gonna add a little bit more as well too. So I was a little bit bigger, but you can see that what it does, it moves my average up substantially higher, right? So with that being said, when my average is being moved up, and I'm free rolling, I'm using that methodology that I referred to you guys about, that when I always free roll using my unrealized gains to add more shares into a position. That's exactly what I was doing, but then it came back and came back to my break evens, my stop out at break even. So that's what happened with that, Gaurav. And then there was another signal right there, but I was too focused on what the market was doing. I mean, the TQs is working out relatively well for me. I can't complain about that. It's just that I don't have very much size on it in order for me to eliminate my earlier losses. So now I'm just waiting for this pullback. If this volume can be sustained, you just look at the 5-minute time frame, and that's not the most positive signs for me. Can things turn around? Absolutely. So we're going to be a little bit patient and wait for a pullback through the volume weighted average price. And if there's any form of indecision or I'm displaying weakness and the volume starts to cool off even more than what it is right now with that pullback occurring, then that's when I'm going to look to add, and then maybe we can get a break of the pre-market highs, or it just decides to go without me, which seems to be the case right now. So we'll be patient. Maybe we get a rejection of some of these key resistance zones. That's the game plan that I got going on, just telling you guys out loud what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to execute the best that I can for you guys to see if we can get that continued move to the top side here. So yeah, let's see what we got going on with that. Be patient, wait for this pullback. Maybe I'll take a little bit more off, because what I'm looking to add isn't going to do anything from my average anyways. It's just going to lift it up to where I'm currently trading at, but we'll just lock in a little bit more profits. But For the individual in the chat who asked me to take a look at Meta's option chain, we're going to pull it up right now to see what we got going on from that standpoint, and if there's anything that stands out. And when we refer to high levels of OI, you have to think of it from a relative standpoint. Like, what is the dollar value of the stock? Is it more expensive? The more expensive it is, obviously, the less open interest you're going to see, right? You're not going to see that abundance like you would see on an NVDA or a Tesla or a TQs or something along those lines. But 9,602, 620 open contracts right there at 700 on META. Let's pull up the actual underlying to see where we've rejected from an intraday standpoint. So there you go. It's coming into play once again. There's open interest at 320 on Tesla. You've seen that we traded to 704 here on META. We have the highest concentration at that 700 strike price. Right now, we haven't breached it and held after that sell-off. So maybe we trade back towards those specific levels. Maybe not. We have to see how strong this market is. But if the bigger names are going to continue to recover here, I'm in the TQs, and I'm going to be looking to add into this position substantially if we break through some key levels and I see a change within that volume profile. So Tesla's working out really well. It's unfortunate that we didn't hop right back into it, but that's okay. That ship has sailed. Now we got to focus on what we got going on and and just think about how can we optimize what this trade can potentially gift us, right? So that's what I'm looking at right now. Going to be patient, pull back through volume weighted average price, indecision at the lows, add into the position. Volume starts to cool off, wait. Once it steps back in, you add shares.
All right, man, this one is really taking off here, guys. IMNN is really going. It was a real good breakout above, I want to say, that initial flat top at $1.55, and then we had some more consolidation. Look at this thing go, bro. Every time I'm looking, there's new highs of days. So we're waiting at 75, and then I'm setting up at 82. So IMNN up 30%, very, very consistent pattern. But here's the deal. The volume profile on this one is quite interesting because look, I mean, you don't typically see this kind of volume bar manifest at 7 to 12. Usually this kind of volume bar you're going to have in the earlier trading day. I'm talking about this, about 400,000 shares printed so far right now on IMNN on this 1 5-minute candle. It's $1.75 high a day now, and this thing's really going up 30.5%. So good strength on this name. We'll keep tabs on that. We'll continue to extract prints incrementally, I guess. It's got to cross that 75 for me to get printed, hence why the high of the day is 75, but we did not take the fill. So Packer patience. Let's see if we can get on this bad boy. There's 75 again. There's a seller of note here. There's about, probably a little bit less than 3 or maybe 200 lots at this level. Boom, taking him out. So there goes the seller at 75. His lot has just got eaten up. So we'll keep tabs on that. And then my next profit taker there at 82s. We've still got several more outs on this one. So we'll take outs incrementally now on IMNN. So happy with this one. Now, here's the deal. I'm in a bit of a risky trade now. I got back into KWM about I want to say 20% of the original shares that I had. Why did I do this? Because it continues to defend the 10 exponential topping tail candle or not, the bamboozlement. I still feel that we could break above 8. So I've given this one a bit of a tighter stop because I just don't want to give too much money back here. If it continues to drop down below that 10 exponential, I will get stopped out, but I'm giving it a try. It's still kind of an ascending wedge pattern, but it does look like it might stop me out here. So we will give some money back on that if it continues to head down. So that is the issue with that one. Let's look at RFL as well. This one feels like it's also a bit of an ascending wedge pattern into that $3 area. Whether or not it ends up happening, yeah. So I just got stopped out of KWM. You win some, you lose some. That's all good there. Yep. So back to RFL, sorry to keep digressing there from one to the other, but we're trading multiple names. So this is my concern right now. There seems to be a seller at 95s to 3s. So you can see this candle over here at 1145 did get into about 298 or so, but it was met with aggressive selling. And as I can see there on the level 2, just from what I can see, there's over 200 lots waiting for me, which is not that much on a $3 name, right? But it's typically what we can't see that usually gets us in trouble. So RFL of interest to me right now, especially if it can really explode above 3. And that's kind of what I'm holding the majority majority of my shares for. We're long at 84s. I'm trying to pack my patience for a flat top break through 3, but I am concerned that we reject 3, make a lower high relative to this area high. So this would be the high a day area high, and then all the way down here we end up dropping and then making a lower high on our way to VWAP. And then it's not a flat top break anymore, then it's a lower high, lower high, lower high with that same area bottom. We know that that is a flat bottom break, and I don't want to be on the receiving end of that because I'm not looking short, okay? So of concern to me is RFL. We'll pack our patience, see what we can get on this one, okay? Quickly over here, I wanted to mention LVWR, one that we mentioned earlier that was, kind of aggressively moving up. Finally, a 2-candle retracement right now on LVWR. I'm going to be an interested buyer here at the 10 EMA. There's no doubt about it. And the thing is, I'm debating whether or not I front run the 10 EMA. Now, when we've seen these with more prolonged pullbacks, I'm talking about 2 and 3 candle red pullbacks, oftentimes they do breach the 10. And the money fills, at least my observation has been, will be between the 10 and the 20 exponential moving average. That's not a hard and fast rule, and that's anecdotal. It's not statistically based, but we're going to give this one the old college try, see what we get on this one. Oh, you little KWM, this is my mistake. I put the stop ahead of the 10 exponential. I shouldn't have been doing that, and look what it did. Right back up. Right back up. So that's a mistake on me there. That's a lesson in stop placement. Don't be a schmuck like me and put your stops too tight. Look at it. It's an ascending wedge, bro. I don't know why I was so aggressively placing my stop. What the hell was I so worried about? Psychological, but not wanting to give the money back.
Exactly.
And I hate that. That's not... You're not executing on the technical side of things, so I'm a little disappointed there.
Yeah. Then it's just put that one away.
Right? There it goes, man. Oh,
that one in the
brutal.
in the old back pocket there and find something else. Yeah,
it's still going. That's the thing. It's still going.
There, then.
What is this? What is happening over here, Joseph?
Oh, I got the email last night, Sharif. I got to do the old test key.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to do the test key, eh?
Yeah, I got to do the old test.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I get that done.
Don't use chat or anything like that.
No. I won't.
No.
I can't because it's not working.
Attaboy, way to take a shot at chat. What's going on there, Sam?
What's going on there?
We pay $20 US. Ooh. We pay good money for this, my boy. We want access to chat when we need it, man. I shouldn't have to use Gemini.
Come on, you think I'm going to fail it? That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Uh-oh. There's questions there, Neil. There's questions there. Those are solid questions.
Drop everything.
All right, guys.
And is this beef strogie? No, let's get back into these markets, guys. Again, we're in this. You can see that we're running into the higher end of this consolidation phase that the Qs have been in throughout the day. So what I'm waiting for, again, I'll just go over the game plan. We're going to wait for a pullback here to the volume-weighted average price, and then we're going to look for that volume to slowly start to pick up as we start to approach it once again, and then look for it to really start to increase as we break through some of the key resistance zones. So that's exactly what I'm looking on. I only have one more out here on the TQs, and I'm happy to start a whole new position. But we are going to Adara and then to Neo with this lesson of the day.
I'm going to notice the market took a bit of a tumble here. I guess it would be around 11:30. You can see this big push in volume and this drop to the downside that we've recovered from. Basically, there were a couple of things going on. We had one senator saying they're going to be revising the big, beautiful bill with regards to spending. But I think the bigger move was likely because Donald Trump went on Fox News. And, of course, the president of the United States, Donald Trump, goes on Fox News and says that apparently Iran is being much more aggressive still on these nuclear talks. So drop to the downside, recovered that entire move if you look at it from a 15-minute candle. Let's talk about TSLA. Speaking of recovery, it's back in the $1 trillion club as of this morning after leaving said club on Thursday, dropping following a very public, very heated spat between Donald Trump and CEO Elon Musk. Looks like, though, as of yesterday, Trump seems to have less aggressive opinions towards Musk and Tesla stock recovering in kind. Here's GME. This one weak today, but they do have earnings after the bell. We know this is one that is watched heavily by retail investors. Keep an eye on this one. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. But before we send you back to the Bash Brothers, we're going to send you to Neil and his lesson of the day. Take it away, Neil.
Welcome to the lesson of the day, everybody. I'm literally just, Mark's behind and we're talking about the new Studio 8 and some of the new renovations and how it's going to go. So I got a little bit distracted there. But when And you might be distracted when something like that news just hits everybody. But if you find yourself in that spot where you get this crazy move, at Nasdaq, ES doesn't really make a difference. The key thing is, whether you miss it or not, know where you want to go, right? So if you get this kind of a bottoming tail wick, and you can see it go right into the overnight lows on the Nasdaq, and you're thinking, okay, we've seen these wick dip buys, have an idea where it is that you want to flow. Now, my worst trade today was Tesla coming in. But that didn't stop me from knowing that, hey, Tesla long, even though I misplaced a stop order or didn't have it in whatever it might be, was a missed opportunity. Well, I know it's above VWAP and I know it's trending up. So this is a name that I want to buy the dip into the volume weighted average price. You saw that bottoming tail on the Nasdaq. That's into the low of the day, whereas Tesla's pulling back on an uptrend going into the volume weighted average price. Now, the other place that I think maybe it wouldn't have worked as well if you grabbed it as well as Tesla did off of VWAP there. The other thing you could have looked at was maybe an Apple, another stock. I was only shorted here, so it was never on my plan to go dip buying. But have an idea where you want to go, like something which was holding higher lows while the market wasn't as strong as it is now. So when you get that dip buy in, it gives you a nice little bottoming tail, tries to get above VWAP. I don't think it's working as well, but the idea being, I think you want to try to find some strength. Now, it's not just strong names when you have a move like that. The other thing I think you have to consider is maybe you can reload something which was already working. Now, I'm going to talk about Uber in particular because, Uber early on, we had a couple of dip buys in there, kind of 1 for 2 into VWAP on Uber, but then we missed a huge bottoming tail candle. And you can see what's going on with Uber. It goes right into yesterday's bottom and finally catches a bid. Well, the other way to know that maybe you've got something on a dip buy and a move like that is sometimes you're holding on to a long that runs your stop and you are already in it. So this isn't a I know where I'm going to go, look over at Tesla or look over at Apple. This is a I am in this stock. It just liquidity grabbed my stop order. By the time I look over to react, it's right back to my entry at 86. So what am I doing in that spot? Well, I can tell you, you're buying it right back in there for that VWAP retrace that you were already going to take. So when you see moves like this in the futures, we see it all the time. We're a headline-driven market, whether it's a truth, whether it's a tweet, whether it's a bond auction, whatever it might be. If it is a liquidity grab, have an idea where you want to go first. Relative strength if you're buying dips, relative weakness if you're shorting rips. Look at something which has been trending for you in that direction, but also if you were already in something that worked, you see yourself get run and stopped out, have the ability to just jump back into it, because if they liquidity grabbed and you know this was a winning and working trade, well, then you can just possibly get that same trade back. And because of the liquidity grab, it can end up a better trade because it's already rinsed people out and not everybody gets back in really quickly. So you have less people on the offer on the way to the upside. So we're going to see moves like this until the cows come home. The market's now breaking out the highs after that flush through VWAP, whatever you want to call it. You want to make sure that you have some opportunities to get back into longs, find some dip buys, continue that trend into the upside. And you have to be a sniper about it. It starts with knowing where you want to go, getting back into anything which might have wicked you out but still has the same setup, or just something which is joining the trend and you're able to buy some higher lows in there. So thank you very much for that dip buy. It's one of those things that can turn your day around a little bit, especially if you've been fighting the trend. Good luck, everybody.
All right, guys, thank you very much, Neil, for that. Here we go. IMNN is breaking out aggressively. Boom! There it is. We're done this trade. Wowzers. IMNN is really going here, guys. Wow. We got in at that $1.54, Joseph. This thing is on the way up. The high day is 212. This thing is rocketing up, guys. I didn't peg this one as the one that was going to break out. It was super light on volume to start the day, but here it is, the volume picking up in spades. And now we're doing about 1.5 million shares per 5-minute candle. What a breakout here on IMNN. Keep your eye out on this one. It's really going. I'm done. I'm exhausted all my shares on this one, so we're done this trade. I'll be looking for something possibly at that $1.80, maybe something a little bit deeper there. It's not a bad looking one there, Joseph, keeping my eye out on that. So IMNN very strong. LVWR as well, continuing to go here quite aggressively to the high side. And it pulled back into the 10. I had no part with this one. I just was focusing on other ones. There, it's still an $8 high a day. So yet another bull flag setup right now that we seem to be on. You can kind of say the previous area bull flag was that $7 breakout. So 2 bull flags on this one, LVWR. You have that initial one right at 10.25. You rock it up. You consolidate $7. This is essentially the resistance level. Boom, you break above it. Boom, all the way up to 8. And now you're consolidating again. No 2 bull flags are created equal. They'll look different, okay? So don't anticipate that they're gonna be the exact same. Oh my God, it's Iga Hauren. Shout out to my man, Iga Hauren, which means good guy in Mandarin. Shout out to my man there. Thank you very much, brother. 199er super chat. Appreciate that, my man. So yeah, keep your eye on IMNN, which is topping tail. You have a double top now. Looks like IMNN is losing 2 and coming down possibly into that VWAP area, which is around 177 or so. So we'll keep tabs on that. I'm still involved here in RFL as well, waiting for a flat top breakthrough 3. That hasn't happened. And I worked my way back into KWM. Maybe I regret doing this, okay? Because now we got a 2 candle pullback and it looks like it's rejecting 8. I still like the higher low situation. In fact, I've set up a dip trade at 77. So come what may with KWM, we made really good money on it to start. One of my biggest trades on the day, but we're going to give some back here because we're in the same amount of shares that we got into originally, not smaller this time. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one. Let's see if it can break through that 8 decisively, 848 high a day, Joseph.
Yeah, good look there, brother, and really nice breakout trade there. That was prime time there. We got to clip that one.
Appreciate that, man.
We'll put that on what the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell?
With the Eliante.
I love that, man.
Yeah. But yeah, let's pull up the old screen here, guys, and see what we got going on. I'm now officially all out of the TQs. So a nice little move right there. Again, obviously wishing that we just had a little bit more shares on us, but unfortunately that's not the case. So we're going to accept the trade for what it is. It did break through this. So you've seen what I was talking about. You guys heard what I was talking about earlier. Waiting for that pullback, the retest of the volume weighted average price, and then that's when you get that nice, strong, vigorous move through some of those resistance zones, but instead it just consolidated micro pullback, and then you see that volume really start to step in there, guys, and it punched through. So right when I seen that volume spike, I got out because I was waiting for a little bit more healthy of a move with that pullback, but that's not the case. So we'll be patient to wait and see if there's anything else that's going to potentially set up for us. I mean, Tesla's putting in another consolidation, but the thing is, though, it's now forming this cliff, and I don't necessarily like these. When I see this, for me, it's just run and find something else, because what we want to see is I'll pull up my old trusty tool that I haven't pulled out here in a while, and I'll just display to you guys exactly what I'm looking for. So this is fine. There's nothing wrong with this, right? But what I want to see is this. Pull back about 30-40% of the move, continue higher. Pull back 30-40% of the move, continue higher. Not necessarily what we're seeing right here, where we go like this, right? This is a shelf, and for me, that's no, 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 because at some point, I do believe it's going to fail, and then that's where you're going to use your stop out as, and then that's it. You're done with that trade. So I want to see more healthy pullback price action as you continuously make these highs exactly like that, and that's not what I'm seeing. So what do? We go find something else, all right? So that's my game plan there. If Tesla does decide that it wants to pull back and put in that 40% retracement from this specific zone, then we'll look to get involved. But I'm not going to be chasing this consolidation zone all the way for that break of the high, all right? So that's my game plan, especially with how the market's been trading today. I mean, you're seeing that we're getting these pops, and then they're obviously faded. They're faded right back, and then we as soon as we fade, it pops back higher again. So for that, I think precision is extremely key. I know Katina Man's still long Tesla from 313, so he's $6 in the money there, almost 7. Nice work there, brother. That's working relatively well for you. But again, just be patient, wait for certain things. With that being said, let's go over the top performing sectors of the day to see where we can find some relative strength here, guys. And that's going to be the energy sector. Yeah, performing really well today, up 2%. That's pretty big. And then we got the comms up about 1% there, guys. Healthcare sector sitting in that third place, up about 9/10. Okay, so then we'll go from the bottom three, third last to last here. Utilities still slightly green, up about 1/10. And then we have the financials that is down 1/10. I'm pretty sure it was a top 3 performer yesterday. And then the industrials are in last place here, guys, down about 0.4%. So if you're looking for relative strength and you want to find some longs, let's pull up the XLE because it is the best performing sector. And if you're looking for the continuation, then this is probably the space you're going to want to be in. All right, so there you go. Choppy stuff. And I'm not saying this is necessarily the vehicle that you want to trade, but you can see we haven't pulled back. It hasn't been selling off with the rest of the market. Right shortly after we open, it's been holding VWAP for the duration of this session. Again, if you're just going to look to play the ebbs and flows, you're at the lower end of this pullback. Maybe look for a continuation in the energy sector there.
All right, guys, I got back into IMNN. We're going to give this really tight. So what do we got in 85s? I've given it to 77s because it came into the volume weighted average price. So if it loses VWAP, I'm just going to end the trade. I'm not going to fight with this one. Huge double top at basically 2 high 12s, 2 mid-teens there. There we go. We just got stopped out. It dropped down below the volume weighted average price. So I have no interest in trading this below the volume weighted average price. It's going to have to get above that $1.88. Otherwise, it's of no interest to me right now. So we'll keep tabs on that. My real focus is, though, on KWM. Okay. Now it is put in a 3-candle lower low, lower high setup off that $8 rejection. That concerns me. Okay. So let's see if we can work our way back up. We're showing 89s now, technically holding up at the 10, but it's not, I'm not comfortable. I just got to tell you the truth. I'm not comfortable up here. So let's go ahead and see if we can extract some at 90s and then 95s. We can get something there. Makes me feel a bit better. There's a huge seller. Monster at 89. Look at the amount of wattage there, and that's just what we can see there, Joseph. So concern for me on KWM, can we shake the seller at 89s, let alone the seller at 8s? So KWM, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this one anymore. We'll pack our patience there. Now, RFL is coming right back down into my entry, so it doesn't look like this one wants to be a flat top breakout through 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my stop right below the volume weighted average price at 78. So let's go ahead and throw that on there. And how many shares do we have of this one? Okay, so we can give it down to 70 in case it really starts flushing over here. RFL is what I'm talking about, dipping down into that possible VWAP area. But I'm all eyes, ears, and every other sensory percepting organ on KWM because I really want this one to flat top break through 8. Whether or not we get it is an entirely different story. We're long 88s. It's showing me 86s right now, but I submit to you guys there is a huge seller at 89. Now, can we take them? We've done about a little bit less than 8 million shares on the day, so it's not exactly the biggest or the biggest volume play on the day, no question about that. So this is a bit of a concern here. So gonna keep my eyes fixated on this one, see if the seller starts moving down from that 89 position into other levels. That's what I'm also concerned about. Adair calls this the ass creep or the bid creep, where that big position size, was posted, let's just say, at 790. And then all of a sudden you see that same seller that was posting at 790, he's posting, or they're posting at 788. So I'll keep my eye out on that. I gotta say though, feeling quite comfortable in the seat over here. Everything's good over here, guy. Okay, so right now, Joseph, we got a mix. We got a little bit of upper. We got a little bit of lower. Okay. But that's not the only two. You get thigh. You get lower. Yeah. You get middle. Ooh. You get upper. Oh. And then, if that wasn't enough, you can go side to side. Yeah. You can mix it up. You can go up, down. You can throw some heat in that bad boy.
I think might go missing.
Ooh. Oh. This guy, bro. It's over. Take that.
Might go missing.
We're having a good time, guys. All right. Keeping an eye on KWM. Joseph, what do you got, my man?
Yeah, Artemis. It's the ask. A-S-K, the ask. Yes. Not what the other thing that you were referring to, but I mean, close correlation, that's for sure. But I mean, let's see what we got going on. We're not all out of the TQs. I know someone in the chat asked for some GME stuff, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at the expected move here, guys. On GameStop, the much anticipated GameStop. I don't know what I would do with earnings season if there wasn't one without GameStop. All right, there we go, guys. So 11.4% expected move here, guys. You can see that IV is really starting to creep up right there. So 29.73 is what we're currently trading at. With that expected move, if we exceed it, we're going to be north of 33.12. And then if we exceed it to the downside, we're going to be south of 26.35. All right, so that is the expected move there on GameStop. I'll post that on X as well, too. So go and follow your boy at TraderTV Joseph, and I post the options chain and the expected move there. With that being said, let's take a look if there's any high levels of open interest around those specific areas that we were just referring to, and maybe that can act as some overhead resistance, maybe not. All right, so where is the highest level currently concentrated at? That is going to be right around this 32 strike. Okay, so a little bit south of where that expected move is to be. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some resistance around this specific level. So that's what we see on the call side. If we go down to the put side, nothing relatively as large as that. So for a potential base, who knows, maybe we'll be free fall into 25 or something along those lines. But there you go, GameStop reporting this afternoon after the bell. I'm not sure if it's 4 o'clock, 4:15 or whatever it may be. But you can see that we are looking at a 11.4% expected move in either direction, putting us at a high of around 33 and then a low of around 26. And then our highest level of open interest is going to be around around that 30 strike price with the 14,500 open contracts. Okay, guys, so keep that in mind. Write those numbers down, especially if you're looking to play some options or even trade the equity after the earnings report. And if you are trading earnings, please don't play the announcement print. And thank you, everyone, for wishing me a happy birthday. Let's see what Adair's got for us. Oh, no,
okay, guys.
Okay.
All right, level up your trading game with PropXP, up to 1 to 200 leverage and static drawdown. Scroll the site and pick your challenge at PropXP.com. Trade directly on our platform. Sign up, try it for free, and start your trading journey today. You enjoy rapid payouts and real human support, not bots, guys. Rated 4.6 stars on Trustpilot, trusted by traders worldwide. Right now, get 50% off with code TraderTV. The link is in the description, guys. Link is in the description, guys. Be the trader, get funded, join PropXP today. Your edge starts here. Visit PropXP.com, guys. Go ahead, Adair.
It's breaking news and more breaking fun fact, but I'm just seeing this come in here from Bernstein. Bernstein is, of course, a well-known financial analyst. Apparently, they're saying that their price target for Bitcoin, which is $200,000 for 2025, is actually conservative. So we have certainly Bernstein having big dreams for BTC this year. I think worth noting just because of the GameStop conversation. This will be actually, I believe, GameStop's first earnings report since they announced their treasury strategy, their Bitcoin treasury strategy. They purchased Bitcoin as of a couple weeks ago, I believe. Back to you.
Yeah, today is not my birthday, guys. Thank you very much for wishing me one. So I'll take an early happy birthday. It is the 5th of October, debatably the best month of the year.
That's really early,
Yeah,
says Andre.
Really, hey, man, we can do a couple month long celebration. So, Joseph, welcome to the 33 Club, brother. Thanks, Bob the dog. Oh, you're 33 too. Yeah. So I found out that I'm not an unk. I'm a big bro. So I fall in the big bro category. Shreve, you're unk. Shreve's unk. I'm big.
I'm frowning because of this trade, bro. I don't care if I'm an unk or not, bro. I don't give a rat's you know what.
Yeah. What's wrong with? Oh, it's breaking.
I hate
down?
this trade.
Yeah, that's right. You already put on a banger one. There goes your converter for your massager thing. So that thing's gonna be broken.
You say converter to a.
Yeah.
You don't say remote.
What do you call it? A converter?
I call it a remote. Right?
Your pops call it a converter?
No. I know people that call it a converter.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, good stuff here, guys. So that's what we got going on here, guys. I think patience is going to be a lot of the name of today's game. I'm going to be looking to get involved in something. I just need to wait for that pullback. If we're going to continue this trajectory, this northeast move here in the overall market, then I'll look to get involved. So you can see that we're now north of some of these key resistance zones. So wait for that retest, any form of indecision. And if you see the volume start to pick up on the lower time frame, then that's going to give you a good go signal. And that's exactly what I'm waiting for. I don't want to rush anything just yet, nor am I going to chase near the top end of this range, especially when you can see that volume really start to cool off there, Sharif.
All right, well said, Joseph. All right, we're setting up here some at 80s. We'll see what we get. Now I have to set up my stop because, well, I don't want to get in trouble with this one. So let me just see exactly where we're going to set up over here. So that we got on. All right, that's fine. So we got 78. So I'm going to have to give it to basically right here. All right, so that's, we can go ahead and do that. And I'll set up just like that. Wow, it's really losing it. So I'm gonna get in trouble with this one, it looks like, sadly. All right, let me just think about where I want to place the stop. All right, so we're gonna go, and then we'll set up like this. Okay, just allow me a second over here. There we go. So stops in play, and now come what may. All right, so KWM, we're 28 pennies out of the money on this one. So this is trouble for me. If it loses this 7.5 area, that's going to be the end of the trade on this one. It's already coming down. Looks like it will make its way down to VWAP. And that's what I was trying to decide. Do I want to give this? Do I have enough room to give it to VWAP? And I don't think I do. So I'm going to have to stop out before that. Now, if I do end up getting stopped out before that and it comes into VWAP and it defends it, I can get back in. That's an option that I have. But we're taking way more share size than I typically do, and that's fine. We're going to give this one a try. Sometimes you're going to miss, sometimes you're going to score. We scored on it earlier, and I'm going to keep trying. So I don't have a problem with that. So I'm going to keep my eye out on this one. Let's see if it dips down into that level. Simultaneously, I got into another trade over here, again on IMNN. It's got a 4-candle hold up above the volume weighted average price. Yeah, I just got stopped out. So frustrating on KW. I sized in too aggressively, too quickly, and I had a chance to get break even on this one when it did move up into 8. So I am kind of disappointed with how I executed the remaining amount on this one, but there is another shot here at the volume weighted average price, which is about 708. It's showing me 723s now, where we get stopped out at. I had to stop out there, otherwise I would have been shut down, so I had to give it to that level. I couldn't have given it to VWAP. That doesn't mean, though, I can't get back in at VWAP. So I'm going to keep my eye on this one. If it allows me to get back in at VWAP, we will get back in. So RFL, I flattened out the trade over here because this one keeps putting in lower lows and lower highs. So I feel that this one is looking to set up for a flat bottom break. But it's IMNN that I want to keep my eye on over here because it's holding the volume weighted average price quite well. Now, if that's the case, let me size in substantially at this area over here for that move back into $2. So I'll keep my eye out on that. And last but not least, LVWR. Do we have this up on a trading screen? No, let's load this up. LVWR is still holding up at or around the 10 exponential moving average on the 5, which trades on the New York. And it's got a good support level there. So I see a consolidation area here on LVWR between 758, or sorry, so let's just say 760 and essentially $8. So you have a 40 penny consolidation area here, which I perceive to be as the second bull flag. You gotta give me, oh boy, that doesn't feel good right there. That does not feel good right there. Look at that. That is literally bottom wick.
Yeah.
That is literally bottom wick. And then up it goes. So that's quite frustrating there. Go ahead.
All right, guys. One for all. What is this? On stock trading competition. One for all, the new trading competition from Trade the Pool. Never been done before. Everyone will be trading together on one shared account with $1 million buying power. So it's June 16th to 18th. The goal, beat the Qs. For example, if the Qs move by 3% up or down, we aim for more. And that's what's in it for you. Everyone wins plus $675,000 in prizes, 20 evaluation amounts up for grabs, one account, one mission, one for all. Scan the QR code and join the team now. Wow, okay, over over $500,000 in prizes there, guys. That intrigues me. Maybe we have to take a look at that one there. So yeah, and thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated for all the super chats. I know we got another one there from Steven Stewart. Keep it going. Happy birthday, Jay. Thanks for that $5 super chat, brother. We'll get the birthday shenanigans going for you, all right? So there's no question of that. And by shenanigans, I mean we are going outside to the outdoor workout gym and then probably going to fall asleep shortly after that, after I barbecue, and then head back to hit the old pillow, I guess, there. So, Joseph, I'm looking to add more HAS calls on August 15th expiry. Happen to have any insights on the entry point and strike? I'm bullish on earnings. All right, let's pull up HAS. Where am I? Oh, okay. Hasbro. Okay, that's Hasbro. Okay. Very, very interesting. So, see, the thing is with me, so when I pull this up, if you're looking to buy some calls with this, when I look at it from an intraday standpoint, you already have liquidity issues. And with that being said, as soon as I pull up the chain, I'm probably going to see the same things, right? So I'll pull up HAS, and to see what we got going on, I mean, you're looking at the August calls here. And there's liquidity, so I won't say there isn't, but there's nothing substantial. Entry point, I honestly can't tell you that. If you're already involved in this name, then you have your game plan. But I mean, you can see you have that stair-step type pattern, so you get the leg one. And I've gone over this pattern with multiple names with you guys, where you have consolidation, you have that move down, back up, consolidation, and then an additional move higher. Like I can go in the likes of Google, Tesla, and there's another name that had the identical pattern as well too. So you can see that that move has been sustained. So now the key thing is, are you going to have enough momentum to break through this resistance zones? Because I think this is going to be the next level. Do you want to get involved right away? Unless you see volume start to step in rapidly, then maybe wait for an additional pullback before you add into those contracts. And that's what Wayne and I were talking about the other day, and the system's been working really, really well for us. So guys, you know that I've kind of been working on a hybrid system, so it's shares and contracts. So what I essentially do, so I'm just using the same methodology as I do for my intraday trading. You see how I add into my winning positions. So what I'll do is I'll start with shares. I'll grab an X amount of shares. Once it starts working out, now I've built myself a buffer, and then that's when I have the ability to use those leverage products. So it's been working really, really well, and I'm continuing to do it. So that's one thing that I want you guys to know. Just don't go all ham on contracts, because there's good traders around the floor who believe in the hybrid system, and I'm one of them. Wayner likes it as well too, and he's an amazing trader. So just keep that in mind. You're using a leverage derivative, and if you're not too familiar with how time decay works, that's why the majority of traders lose it, is because they don't understand the value of theta, and just keep that in mind, all right? So I like what you see from a potential daily standpoint for the continuation and the break of these key resistance zones, but just be patient and wait for a pullback, and then you can add into the position.
Looking at the CoreWeave,
Oh yeah, how's that?
still basically break even on it at the moment.
Break even?
Well, because we got in and it was, we were like $300 out of the money, so I'm literally like 181. Yeah, but that's basically the same thing.
What's
there.
that top left corner there though?
This?
Yeah.
That's the daily P&L. And then this is
okay.
So that's what you're up and down on the day.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
You got some other things, obviously.
Yeah. We got Pandub, NVIDIA, Uber, ACI Mara, Udemy. So that's like what you're up and down on the day. But
so that's
this is the CoreWeave one right there. So we're out $485 on the put.
Yeah.
But we were like 350, I think, out of the money immediately because of the spread. So it's like, you're out of a little
and you
bit.
got September? Yeah, you got time though.
That's why I thought to look at it there. Interesting stuff there on CoreWeave. Yeah, we've talked about this one before. Great move up. And a buddy at the gym is actually long. I'm just trying to bring in the chart over here for CoreWeave, and he was just absolutely gung-ho this name. I was like, yeah, look, it's a great trade, but I don't know about the fundamentals. But the chart is still setting up. That's the thing, Joseph.
Yeah.
Looks like we're getting that 165 area top, but look at the higher lows. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So even on this day, the subsequent day, we ended up having a higher low. The next day, we ended up having a big green day, but that 165 top looks like it might be right up there. So I'm waiting for lower highs and lower lows, and you're not getting the lower highs or lower lows quite yet. So keep tabs on that.
What is it trading at right now?
It's trading at 153.33 right now. Basically, it has an area high of, I want to say, 165. There seems to be a lot of selling in and out 163, 164 area, so we'll keep tabs on that. KWM is double bottoming at the volume weighted average price over here, so keep your eye on that. We're going to send it to Adara.
Here's the FXI. Keep an eye on this market as well. Apparently, officials are saying that the U.S.-China trade talks are ongoing, and the countries are still working out technical details. The other thing I want to mention is we had heard earlier these talks were over. Then Scott Bessent said they're still happening. So a little bit unclear what's happening here in London with regards to the U.S.-China talks. But either way, seems like they're working out some, technical details. Back to you.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's what bothers me.
It's just, hey,
Oh, I feel no kind of way about it.
Chip away, man. You know how it is.
I feel no kind of way about
Chip away,
it.
brother.
Yeah.
That's how we rock
I don't know what that means,
bro,
but
chip
it
away.
sounds like it's a good thing, though, so I'm good with it.
Just chip away.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
There you go. Guys, there's another one that I negated to mention today, small cap gapper world. It goes by the ticker NVTS, and it's breaking out quite aggressively right now. I want to say it was in a bit of a range with essentially about, around 7 3/4 to the low side, essentially 8 1/4, maybe 8 1/3 to the high side. But that level just got taken out there on good volume, $8.50 at the high of the day right now, NVTS. This one had a big day yesterday, popped up, nice bull flag. We end up closing above the volume weighted average price in the aftermarket today. We hold the levels, we hold yesterday's lows, we hold yesterday's closing print at around 7 1/3, and here we are, $8.50. Good strength on this name. Keep your eye out for this one. It is breaking out to the high side right now. $8.50 is NVTS, up 16 1/3%. Not a bad look there, so keeping an eye out on that. Nothing for me to do at the moment right now, guys. KWM is in no man's land over here. It's got a double bottom off or two bottoming tail candles, I should say, excuse me, off the volume weighted average price. Back into 7.5 it goes, but it's not putting up any higher highs or higher lows. So I feel like we're in an area of indecision right now on KWM. So I'm going to pack my patience to see if there's a better entry level on this name. Otherwise, I'm going to stay clear of this one. Just looking at the scanner to see what's moving. It looks like there's a new ticker, Gels, GELS. Looks like it's at the high of the day right now, $2.96. This is the daily chart on Gels. So it is a former runner. You can kind of see that it has these outsized days with huge topping tail candles and smaller bodies. That means it was obviously intraday traded, and then by the time the market was closing, it moved back down into a more reasonable level. And here's that $3 area. This one's been quite respectful of this higher low, higher high situation with these last two candles getting away from that average mean price. But what I will say to you is this one looks like it has a propensity to print a new high of the day and then to Christmas tree retrace. Here's what I mean. Look at that 7 a.m., 7:30 print. We pop up all the way to 315. We just printed a new high of the day, by the way. So watch for a retracement now. 320, and we drop, the 315 at 7:30 a.m. We drop all the way back down to 2. So we've done that. Then it happened again at the open. We pop up from $2 into 262. We drop right back down to 215. Over here, again, 11:30, we pop up, make a high of the day at around 291, drop all the way back down to 241. So let's see if the money fills here are going to be around like 270, maybe 260. We just printed that 320 high. It has a propensity to retrace after that high of the day break. Take advantage of that. Now, if it doesn't come back into your area, it doesn't come back, you haven't lost any money. Just the opportunity. So we'll keep an eye out on this one. GELS, it's going to replace NTCL on the side chart. Let's put in GLS and replace said NTCL because it's doing bupkis. So we're going to keep an eye out on Gels. Gels is having a good day, man. We're only about 18 pennies or so away from, 18%, excuse me, away from that 100% banger. We're up into 311 or the 320 high. We are still below, believe it or not, the pre-market high, which took us all the way up to about 336. We double topped there. So be on the lookout for 3 high 30s, maybe 3 1/3 area rejection. We just got to 3 1/5 and we're already retracing back down into that $3 level. So there could be something here on GELS. Packing my patience for this one. Let's see if we can get something. NVTS continues to go, and LWVR, another one that we talked about there, all the way to the high side as well, looking to take out 8. I tried to set up something there on LVWR. It is a little illiquid. It's an $8 name. It's done 1.5 million shares on the day, so I wasn't able to get into this one on my dip trade. Now I have to be really careful about where I get in and get out because I'm on the precipice of getting shut down. So we're going to have to be super careful now about how we get in and where we get in. Uh-oh, my share shut off there. We got to turn it back on there, Joseph. Uh-oh. Yeah. I'm gonna throw in. I think I might do a mix now. We'll do some upper as well. Yeah. We'll do some upper.
You ever use that EMS machine where you put the patches on?
Say that again.
That EMS machine. Like where you put the patches on.
Oh, that Dr. Ho machine? You talking about that? I don't have that, but my sister before she.
Have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. A buddy of mine used it.
Yeah. Use it on my lower back.
Is it good?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I was running some serious lower back problems in my lower 20s. Yeah, so I don't know if I told you the story. So okay, when I bought my condo, it was COVID. I did tell you this story. And the day that I moved in was the day that everything shut down. And it was my game plan to go to IKEA and buy a bed that day.
Okay.
I couldn't. So I had to order it online. And I ordered obviously the worst mattress on the planet and decided to sleep on it for the better part of a month. Yeah, and it just destroyed my lower back because I used to sleep on my stomach, and then it just ruined it. And then I had to get that thing, and then obviously.
Was it a hard mattress or soft?
Yeah, it was hard. I bought it too hard.
Aren't those good for you though?
No.
I thought hard mattresses were good
it was
for you.
too hard, man.
Okay,
it was too hard. I had to get a
bro.
mattress topper and everything. I ended up just throwing it out, but yeah, and then I had to get one of those Dr. Ho.
Thanks, Assassino. Assassino's letting you hear it, bro.
Yeah, he's letting me know, man. It was a big time fail, but that was some interesting.
Joseph, I just want to cover gels for a second. All right, so there's the topping tail, guys, in the 329, and here comes 3. Be on the lookout for a deeper retracement. How deep? I don't know, man. This one is kind of marching to the beat of its own drum. So we're off already, 30 pennies off the top. Let's see if it comes back down, maybe into 2 high 80s. There does seem to be a support level there, owing to this double top that we put in earlier on, right into that 290, 2 high 80s. You guys get what I mean? Generally that area. I'll look for a 2 or 3 candle retracement right now on GELS. You good, Fabian? I think he's got his headphones on there. He's got the hiccups, my guy. Okay. He's out drinking last night, then, I guess. Okay, Fabian had a good night.
And what do I do?
That's why he came in his sunglasses.
Yeah.
Now it all makes sense. Poor thing. I know, man. We're having fun at the Chilean Nightmares expense.
Well, I said,
shout out to him.
That's what I said to get down. I'm like, man, my guy was partying last night because I know tonight is trivia night, I think.
What do you mean?
Yes, he has got trivia night.
Fabian?
Yeah, Fabian.
Which trivia?
He just runs trivia night.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Fabian, you do trivia night?
Yeah.
Which, is it just general knowledge or is there a theme? Sometimes there's a theme?
Bang.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Where do you do it, man? That's awesome. Near your house, all right.
So, yeah, we're not going to.
So we're not invited.
Yeah, we're not going to. We're not invited, nor are we going to disclose that one there. All right, guys, let's hop into exactly electrical muscle stimulation (EMS). Thank you, Escape Planet.
Oh yeah, it feels pretty good.
Yeah,
I feel pretty stimulated right now.
Thanks, Escape Planet. Always reminds me of Escape Tracks. But yeah, all right. See, the thing is here, guys, we're just waiting. So you can see that we're just continuously moving sideways right now. So I'm either going to wait for that pullback. I know someone mentioned that, like, hey, Joe was right on the Tesla move. I was waiting for that to be a little bit deeper of a pullback for me to get involved. But you can see that we traded right up into that resistance zone and just holding around those specific levels. So again, I'm just going to wait for the exact same thing. It seems that we're forming a shelf here on the Qs, just slowly, gradually forming higher lows as well. But what I want to see is that pullback into the top end of that range and then some indecision around those specific areas. And then that's when I'm going to look for the continuation for that move to the top side. But it may not happen, right? So the thing is, we might just come back into the middle of the range and trade sideways. I mean, look at how the Qs have been trading throughout the whole session. Other than that volatility spike on the potential, I think, of the Iran news. So here you go, boom, you get that big move right here. And then again, we recover most of it, and then we just head right back to moving eastward. So this is really tough. For me, in my opinion, what you want to do, personally, I'm a breakout trader, so I want to see the volume step in. I want to see that momentum start to pick up. But if you're not and you're just trading these ranges, then you want to sell the highs and then buy at the lows, all right? So just keep that in mind. I believe at some point we are going to get that pullback that I'm looking for right into this resistance zone. Just have to be patient enough and not let the market suck me in and drag me in to the point where I'm just chasing something when I have a better opportunity that can potentially arise, all right? So keep that in mind. If there's any names that you guys want me to specifically go over, put it in the chat. We'll do that. But we'll just go over what I did on IBIT as well, too, because I didn't touch too much on that. IBIT. So one thing that I want to note is that I was looking for the continuation of yesterday's strength and what we've seen in the post-market as well, too. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So I did see some indecision prints at some lows. But then when I was looking at the tape, I decided to get out relatively early, which made me miss out on this retracement back towards the volume-weighted average price. But then I was looking for the volume to slowly step up and then break through view up. We didn't get that. It's unfortunate, and you can see. So guys, just focus on these volume candles right now. Look at the strength towards the downside, and then when we start to recover, look at these volume candles. Look at on the 1 minute. Look at these 1 minute interval volume candles. To me, that's weak, and then that's why I started really small. And then when it started to pick up back to the downside, that's when I got right back out, and I wasn't gonna force the trade back towards the top side. I was gonna be a little bit more patient to see if eventually things turned around, but that hasn't been the case thus far here in Bitcoin, Sharif.
All right, guys, keeping an eye on NVTS. Comes back into that 10 exponential where it broke out from there. So we're long at this one. We're going to give it a try. We're going to keep a tight stop, likely at the $0.25, give or take, at around there. We're going to do the new. What time is it? Yeah, it's 12:40. We can do the news now. So it's kind of a late news day, to be honest, but we're going to do it anyway. Couple of interesting headlines. Let's talk about our friends at Tesla. All right, so anybody follow Elon Musk on X? I mean, he only has like 250 million followers. If you do follow him on X, you would have noticed he's reposting some of Donald Trump's, truths there that get reposted on Twitter or X. That all really have to do with the Los Angeles riots, but it really is not the subject matter here that's of importance. It is the possible rekindling of the relationship being obviously started by Elon Musk and then Donald Trump making, I don't know, not negative comments about Tesla yesterday, saying he may not sell his Tesla. He's got a lot of properties where he can keep that Model S, right, Adara? So we'll keep tabs on that. A lot of locations, he said there yesterday. So shout out to Donald. All right, we're just going to put a stop for our friend over here. At the $0.25. So we're going to go 821. We'll go all the way to 810 there on NVTS. Just keeping my eye out on that because it's selling off quite aggressively over here. So Tesla stock rallied quite nicely today and yesterday as well. 3 1/3 back above 300. Is it back above a trillion? It is back above a trillion. So there you go. Oh, so here's the deal. Tesla has been officially named an autonomous vehicle operator in the city of Austin. That is big news, obviously, because we are anticipating the launch of RoboTaxi, actually not just the demos, on June 12th in Austin. The city of Austin designating now Tesla an official RoboTaxi operator, putting it with the likes of Waymo. Prior to that, it had been just in the experimental mode. So what they're looking at doing, the company is slated to launch June 12th. As I said, their initial plans, they're going to have about 10 or 20 modified Model Y vehicles. All will be operating, though, within a geo-fenced environment. So they're going to have basically areas where it can go and where it can't go. And that makes sense, right? You want to step up this kind of thing incrementally and not all at once, so not a bad look. There's going to be no supervised driver. So a lot of the Waymos, they don't have supervised drivers anymore. So kind of putting it on par with that, obviously doing a lot less trips so far. Waymo has, this has nothing to do with Tesla, but Waymo has paused RoboTaxi service in downtown Los Angeles because people feel the need to take their anger out on these Waymo vehicles that have 100 cameras all over them. And I'm sure nobody was filmed at all doing anything like that. So everything's fine there. WWDC day number 2 out there in Cupertino, California. Yep. Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference really lacked any groundbreaking announcements yesterday, kind of like the Vision Pro that we got back in 2023. We got Apple Intelligence last year, so we typically have bigger announcements during the WWDC conference. Yesterday, more subdued, not really anything market moving. But we did get some stuff, so let's talk about it. So the more personalized Siri, like that more advanced Apple Intelligence, will have to wait until later this year or next year. We don't know exactly when the date or the release is going to be, but they did unveil some of their new designs for the upcoming OS, which, by the way, they will go to a new naming system right now for the OS. I just got stopped out of NVTS, by the way. They will go basically for the year. So they're going to say if it's iOS in 2026, it's going to be iOS 26. For 27, it's going to be 27. Right now, they're on iOS 18, which obviously has nothing to do with the year. Go ahead, Joseph.
All right, guys. Traders, are you ready to fully optimize the computer you use for trading every day? Well, Easy Trading Computers and Trader TV has teamed up to bring you an exclusive sale on the world's most powerful AI-ready computers for trading. This limited time desktop and laptop sale includes exclusive performance upgrades, bonus gear, and 0% financing there, guys. And it's only for Trader TV viewers. Scan the QR code, enter your email, and unlock the access before it's gone. The exclusive sale is ending June 12th at 5 p.m. Eastern. So scan that QR code or click the link in the description box, guys.
All right, continuing on with the news. So they're going to have a new naming system, but in addition to that, they're going to have a new operating system look. So they unveiled something called Liquid Glass. It's basically just going to use the Apple processors to kind of give you a more nuanced and more, kind of a natural picture on the for the iOS as well. It's going to be on all their platforms. So Vision Pro is going to get it. You're also going to get it on your Mac. There's also going to be that on CarPlay. More on CarPlay in a second. So in all the different ecosystems that they have, they're going to be employing this Liquid Glass. It marks the first major redesign, believe it or not, of iOS and their OS systems since 2013. And what's funny is I just actually had an old, you guys, like when you go into Facebook, it shows you memories. So back in 2013, I posted a demo where, remember back in the day, you could install these beta versions by downloading it online, which is kind of what I did there. So I have a post actually posting a picture of iOS 13, iOS 7 back in 2013. And that was the last time they had a major redesign. So it's a long time coming. We'll keep an eye out on that. As it said over here, iOS 7 back in 2013.
It seems like it makes like your app a little bit more fluid and seamless.
Yeah, it looks
some
good.
cool things, right?
Good.
Like we don't have to be switching through the apps all the time. You can just a lot of good connectivity.
Absolutely. I'll take any increase, any improvements where we can get it.
Yeah, exactly.
To be quite honest with you. So the new design emphasizes those curved corners for the windows. It mirrors the device physical design, and it's made possible by Apple Silicon, as we talked about. But they also did introduce some notable improvements to its AI capabilities, particularly image generation and language translation. So if you're FaceTiming with someone, if you're on a call with someone, you'll be able to hear live translations of what the other person is saying. All decent stuff. What I liked the most, quite frankly, is what they're calling Apple Super CarPlay or something like that. I forget the name that they're giving it. It's not just going to be on your infotainment system in the middle. It's going to be on your actual driver display system as well. And you're going to be able to control all the car's features from CarPlay. Now, right now, it's only with a couple of providers. I think the car they were showing yesterday was the Aston Martin Vantage or the DBX, which is the SUV. It's going to be on many different car systems, so you're going to be able to adjust climate control, the necessary adjustments that you would be able to do using your car system all through CarPlay. I like that ecosystem. Let's see how they end up doing with it IRL. They also expanded its integration with OpenAI's ChatGPT, allowing users to send screenshots to ChatGPT for text summarization. I saw the screenshot kind of got an upgrade there, so you can screenshot stuff. And if there is, a date for an event, it'll suggest to you to add it to calendar. So some little nuanced AI stuff, making that incremental kind of move up, but nothing groundbreaking whatsoever. Okay, the translation stuff really kind of being the best of the bunch there. Also, NVIDIA partnering with HPE out in Europe, out in Germany, that is, for the construction of a new supercomputer named Blue Lion. It's going to be for science and science research, going to be ready as early as 2027, and it's using NVIDIA's latest generation chips called Vera Rubin chips, so good luck there. Also, they just confirmed that one of their supercomputers there that's called Jupiter is the strongest or the fastest European computer, so not a bad look there. Meta, also in the news. It looks like Zuck quite displeased with the state of Llama. And he is so displeased that he's getting together what they're calling an artificial intelligence supergroup. And what he wants to do is get AGI faster than anybody else. Altman's after AGI, all these LLMs looking at achieving artificial general intelligence. Apparently, the formation of this new super intelligence group was driven by his dissatisfaction with the performance and reception of the new LLM, Llama 4. Achieving AGI would allow Meta, obviously, to integrate its AGI across all its platforms. We reported on this story yesterday with, what's it called, Scale AI. They're looking at investing about $10 billion into Scale AI, which is run by a guy named Alexander Wang, who will be, if the deal goes through, he will be part of this super group, apparently, that Meta is putting together for AGI. So we'll have to wait to see if we get more information on that. He's apparently recruiting up to 50 people, including the new head of AI research for that AGI project. Anything you want to mention?
Yeah, I'm short the Qs. It's not looking too good right now, especially if Amazon wants to get rolling. I mean, Apple tanked south of the volume weighted average price, and then now we're just trading within this range here. So again, I'm not gonna get suckered into any of this chop here in the overall market. So if I get stopped out, then that's fine. I'll wait for some orderly type price action. But here we are in the TQs. We're short this name at this shelf price. Come on, get it right there, kid. Man, why? That's the thing. Why can't we just type it in? All right. Still, there we go. All right, so yeah, again, if we hold above this zone, then I'll just hop out of this trade. If it wants to take another leg higher, then so be it. Again, yeah, I just mentioned I'm not gonna hop into this chop game of the market.
Chop game.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just gonna have to find something else. NVDA doing the exact same thing. You can see how identical the price action is between the Qs and NVDA. So they're moving in correlation there, guys. And yeah, again, we hold above this specific level. I'm gonna get out of that. No worries. Start really small with the position, and then we build into them once they start working. Looking for that move back towards the volume weighted average price. Maybe another liquidity grab or two, and we get that. But right now, it's looking like we want to slowly grind higher.
Sounds good. All right. Uber making yet another push into that AV game, autonomous vehicles. So Uber announced a partnership with Wave, which is a UK-based self-driving technology firm, to commence trials for fully autonomous vehicles out in England. The pilot program marks a significant first for Uber, as it will enable users to take rides without any safety driver present, which is class 4, as we know the different classes of autonomous driving. Wave, just to give you an idea who they are, they're a London-based startup. They're backed by SoftBank and Masayoshi Son. They specialize in developing software for self-driving vehicles. They utilize AI. Obviously, we know Tesla has been using AI a lot more in their neural network, so kind of, something we've already heard of. The UK's recent Autonomous Vehicles Act, which was passed last year, aims to pave the way for self-driving vehicles to be on British roads by 2026. That is quite good. Obviously, a little bit behind North America, or America, because we don't have anything here in Canada, autonomous vehicle. We don't have, right, guys? You don't have, we don't have, right? Yeah, I don't think so.
Why don't we be a little proactive and start to get that ball rolling, because we know it's coming, but we'll probably wait until the last minute.
Yeah. I don't know why they're dragging their feet. They probably should, maybe because of the climate.
Maybe.
Because climate's probably a little bit difficult in the winter. Yeah, because you see what the NTH or NHTSA or whatever it is, National Highway NHTSA, they want, and even though, apparently it was supposed to be a pro or a friendly governing body now, a regulatory body, they still want all this information from Tesla about what the camera is able to see and not see during tough times, fog, night, bad conditions like that. Because again, Tesla's only using the camera networks, right?
So and I like how you put it that way, because imagine the individuals who don't brush the snow off of their car.
Oh yeah, I love those people.
So there you go. The cameras will be working fantastically, especially when they're covered in snow.
Yeah, well, even if not, even if you clean it and then you end up in a snowstorm and it gets covered, you're in trouble, right?
Exactly,
It's probably gonna have to get disengaged. Yeah. So let's talk about Disney, because now they own Hulu outright. Now we've seen this whole long, prolonged thing. This has been going on since 2019, guys, since Disney's been trying to take Hulu off Comcast's hands. Finally done. They added an additional $438.75 million to acquire Comcast's remaining 33% stake in Hulu, officially concluding the multi-year process. The final payment comes after Disney's initial announcement in 23 of its intent to buy Comcast stake, which was at the time they paid about $8.6 billion. on Hulu's guaranteed minimum value of 27.5, which was the agreed upon minimum back in 2019. Whether it's worth more or less, the market can decide that. The appraisal process which was expected to conclude in 2024, involved both Disney and Comcast appraisers whose valuations differed significantly. They ended up bringing a third party there. So the transaction is anticipated to close on or before July 24th, while the payment will be recorded on Disney's third fiscal quarter and not expected to affect their 2025 guidance, in case you were worried about earnings there. So the full ownership will also facilitate what Disney's been trying to do with their integration of ESPN and other services, all with that direct-to-consumer push to kind of circumvent the cable companies and obviously improve margins. As of March 29th, Hulu had about 50 million subs, give or take, which contributes significantly to that 180.7 million subs that Disney claims. 50 million of that is just Hulu. So not a bad look. Obviously, the majority coming from Disney Plus, but 50 million, nothing to sneeze at. Anything on your side, Joseph?
No, just still sitting in on this trade here, guys. Again, you got to be patient. It does look like the market's going to want to start coming back in here. NVDA doing the exact same job. I'm short the Q, so I'm monitoring what the big boys are up to. And I think that's what needs to be done, especially when you're trading the overall market. All right, so that's what I got going on. It's still the same game plan, going to be patient. If it does look like we're going to pick up a little bit in momentum, and I see the volume start to pick up, because you can see, look at the profile here, guys. It's just completely just falling off a cliff, right? It's decayed. So again, I'm not expecting anything too drastic right now until that volume does step in. And if it does, and I see it start to step in towards the downside, and we make that push towards VWAP, then that's going to give me a beautiful ad opportunity there. So,
all right.
Sorry, your mom's stockbroker, any plans to bring them back? Oh, okay, so some people in the chat have been, you see the questions there? Yeah. Not that I'm aware of there, guys, so not anytime soon, but if there is, obviously, we'll keep you posted with
Absolutely, yeah. Look, guys, the lessons are not happening anymore because the market's just moving off a lot lately, so what we've decided to do is just kind of to go with the market moves, and with Donald Trump speaking at any one time, we've just been trying to cover that. But thank you for asking that. If we do bring it back, we'll obviously, you'll be informed about it. Absolutely. All right, last one here, Joseph. HHS, Department of Health and Human Services, being obviously spearheaded by RFK, announced the retirement, let's put it in quotes, of all 17 members of the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, essentially the people who deal with the vaccines. ACIP is responsible for reviewing vaccine data and making recommendations on eligibility for shots, insurance coverage, and other critical immunization policies. We know what's going on here. So Kennedy claimed that he couldn't really deal with the current board in their form because they were people put in by Biden last minute, and if he was to wait until their term lapsed, it would have to take until 2028. So he basically fired them all, and he's going to put new people in. That obviously has an effect on these, names that make vaccines, like we're RNA, mRNA, Pfizer, etc. So keep your eye out on that. Not really the biggest news headline, but one that I thought I would mention. Now, the trade talks continue between China and the United States. It's day 2 of the high-level talks between the two countries. For the U.S. delegation, we got Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. We got Howard Lunatic, the Commerce Secretary. I'm kidding, of course, guys. We also have Jameson Greer. China's team is being spearheaded by Vice Premier He Lifeng, as well as Minister Wang Wentao and Vice Minister of Commerce Li Changgang. President Trump expressed his optimism yesterday, said the talks are going well and he's receiving good reports from his team. The central focus, though, of the talks is about the critical minerals, especially those rare earth elements and rare earth metals, which are vital for many different industries, including defense and technology. The U.S. is seeking confirmation from China that will basically restore the amount of volumes of those metals, rare earths, that were coming before Beijing put the restriction on back in April. In exchange, Donald Trump has authorized his team to potentially remove U.S. restrictions restriction on the sale of certain strategic goods to China, including chip-making software, jet engine parts, and ethane. So not a bad look there. Analysts remain, though, cautious, suggesting that these talks are unlikely to provide a comprehensive deal, but will likely, be just incremental in how they get done. So it's not going to be one big, beautiful deal, so to speak. I know, sorry, I had to do that. But it's going to be more like, okay, we've agreed to this, and then we move on to the next issue, and then we agree on that, and then maybe by the end of the year, who knows, we'll have a deal in place that can stand the test of time. So that is the news for now, guys. Just wanted to keep you guys apprised of that, and we'll keep a look out on the market. What do you got, Joseph?
Yeah, same thing here, guys. Just being real patient. It's 1 o'clock, so we will do the playmaker. This is 100, so as of tomorrow, I've came up with an idea, and I'm going to present it to everyone. We're going to start doing options contracts with weekly expiration. I think that'll be cool and add a little bit of a twist to it there. So there we go, Sharif. Number 100 there on the playmaker poll there, brother. All the data that we have collected.
Are we doing it live?
As a collective unit. We're doing it live there, my friend. All right, cool. So yeah, we're going long, 75%, guys. For those who are just tuning in, this is just a kind of a paper trade that we do as a collective unit. You vote in the chat there, long or short SPY, and then we just put on a paper trade and collect the data to see if it's a profitable system over time. And right now, as of right now, it definitely is. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that. All ears. Joseph, yeah, let's go. Yeah, I know, it's a great idea. I know everybody's loving that already. So yeah, we're going to do that, guys. We're going to do it, I think, with weekly expiration. And then what we'll do is with each day, we'll just continue on that same one, and we'll just see how volatility affects the contracts and how time decay affects that weekly expiration cycle, all right? So that's going to be a cool idea. I think you guys are going to like that one. So far, everybody seems to be cool, having a good time about that. I don't think it's strong enough to lose you up, but Tesla, you never know. Okay, that's not on topic. All right, Sharif, talk to me, my friend.
All right, 602.03.
602.
We take profits at 604.03.
604.
And we get stopped out at 601.03.
601.03. All
There
right,
you go.
Yeah, it's a tough look there, I think, today, guys, on the playmaker, considering where we're currently sitting at. And you can see the market start to pull back a little bit here as well, too. But that's the game plan. We're going to start officially tomorrow on that one. Once I update that, switch it. Will the playmaker? Yeah, I mean, we can definitely do that. We're thinking about that as well, too, is just actually just putting on a couple of shares as well, just to see if that works out. And we can do that. But unfortunately, we can't do that with contracts. We'll do a couple weeks of contracts to see how that works. And then there we go. All the other traders seem to be enjoying that. DTP, I don't know where your comment is. You got to take into consideration. I don't think it's strong enough to lose view up with Tesla. Sorry, Sharif, I'm just reading something here.
Take your time, bro.
Yeah, Theta is strong with this one, yes, okay. Read my comment. Yeah, I did DTP, so there you go, congratulations.
Sorry,
yes,
Andre, give me a second. Yeah,
all right.
No, I'm just sending him the tickers.
Okay, okay, so yeah. Here we go, guys. That's a good idea. I think everybody's adopting that relatively cool.
Boom.
So what we'll do is we'll just do weeklies, and then we'll just continue on that same expiration cycle until Fridays to see either we hit a banger of a 0 DTE trade or we just lose the value of the contract. So I think that'd be a pretty cool idea. And here you can see, guys, the Qs are starting to pull back. So again, we made it a little push higher. Wasn't strong enough to be sustained, but now as we continue to pick up this momentum, you see the volume slightly start to pick up, and that's a positive direction for me, all right? So this is exactly what I want to see. As we pushed higher, volume really started to stair-step down, so this is not a as someone as an anomaly, but now we're slowly starting to stair-step as we depreciate in price. Stair-step higher, that is, as we're depreciating in price. So once we break through some key support levels, I want to see that volume really start to pick up, and that's going to give me an opportunity to add into this position, Sharif.
All right, MU, guys, is really having a good day today. Shout out to Micron, man. What a move up here for Micron. Let's have a look. Shout out to Bishwajit. Said, please check Micron. What's wrong? Well, I don't think anything's wrong, brother. I mean, it's up nicely here, 3.25%. All the chips are strong today. Like, I'm looking at my watch list for the chips. There's only 2 names that are red. SMCI down 1%, and Marvell is essentially flat. Every other name is positive. Intel is up 4%. You've got the likes of, what else? MCHP, the one that I gave you guys. up 3.5%. That one continues to put in higher highs and higher lows. What were we saying about this $60 breakout, right, above the 200? And look at this move up. Jenny Harrington, I told you guys about this when it was at around 50 bucks, 55 bucks. It's now 70 bucks. It's above all its technical levels, and it kind of is looking like an inverse head and shoulders. Shout out to Mitch, who says, you know, he doesn't like using that pattern, but I think an inverse head and shoulders is as good as a regular head and shoulders, probably manifests a little bit less. So MCHP, another very good day. Adara, what's up?
What's up here, Sharif, is we have these 3-year note auction. It's not really moving the market, and it's also, the numbers themselves aren't super significant, but worth noting because as we learned a couple weeks ago, sometimes we can have big delayed reactions to these auctions. So here's the number for the 3-year note auction. 3.972% is what we got. Our previous number here, 3.824%, so slightly higher than the previous. Back to you.
Out as I kind of mentioned it was really going. Here is INTC. Let's look at the 5-minute on this one. No idea what it is. I just got this price spike notification from my brokerage, but I don't see the headline on it, and there's really nothing that is in my blotter today to justify this. There was a 7:05 headline from QuickLogic joins Intel Foundry Chip Alliance. That can't be it because that came in at 7:05 this morning. So Intel breaking out as we speak, 4 2/3, almost at that 21.5, 21.45 HOD on INTC, which was essentially consolidative all day or all afternoon from 10:30 onwards till we took out that basically 2095 high. We were in a consolidation mode. So Intel on the move up right now. Keep your eye on it. Guys, I see Gels is breaking out, but I was on the verge of getting shut down, so I have to trade super carefully. I couldn't hold this position against me, so I realized it was going. I would have been sizing in substantially over here in front of 3 because it was obviously bull flagging, but that's just the nature of trading on a prop floor. You got to basically work around your risk, and there's not much risk left for me, so got to keep an eye on that. Anything you can tell us about Intel, Adara?
There's no news. This move, of course, does suggest some kind of news. I'm still looking for it. If I see anything, I'll let you guys know. But it's worth noting lots of social media attention for this one right now. INTC traders are definitely watching it. Now, whether or not they're watching it with a catalyst, I have yet to determine. But again, this move really significant, guys. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. Yeah, great look there for Intel. I mean, who knows what Lip-Bu is up to, man? Lip-Bu could be, striking these deals, and we got no idea about it. So that's the look there. What do you got, my man?
Cooking up a storm there. Thank you, Equinox, for correcting me on that one. Yeah, so let's take a look at Lip-Bu here and see what he's got going on. I mean, we can zoom out. I heard Katina Man talking about this one a little bit earlier throughout the day, and unfortunately this name has been not doing so well. I mean, it's been holding up 18 relatively well, but you can see we're just trading within this $10 range here for since August of last year. So, yeah, not a good look here for Intel. I think it's going to take some time for this thing to get turned around. But I mean, one step at a time, babies. One step at a time. Jesus.
Get it, Joe.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, Dara's singing too, bro. You got Adara singing
well,
now.
It's not
man.
hard to get Adara to get going on.
No. Sometimes Adara's jamming in the morning on her own.
Large. You have to.
Often, she said.
Often. Quite often. So often. But yeah, this is what I got going on. If this really starts to pick up in the momentum, seems that it wants to continue to the top side, then we'll just hop out of this. I don't want to micromanage this here, guys. So again, just focusing on what the volume's telling me until it really starts to pick up. And if it does, as we break through some key resistance zones, then we'll just hop out of that trade. There's no worries about that. So yeah, that's my game plan on that. NVDA just stuck in moving sideways. I mean, it's not doing too much today. I want to talk a little bit about Bitcoin after this, but let's take a look at NVDA from a daily standpoint. Again, just moving sideways on the higher time frames as well too. Wait for a pullback, and then I think we're going to get that continuation and break through that all-time high. So that's going to be 153. Currently trading in the 140s, and I seen someone in the chat also mention 155 by the end of the week. The thing is, though, and we've been monitoring NVDA's options chain for quite some time now, and just how reacts around high levels of open interest on the call side. And what I'm seeing displayed at 45s, and that's where we rejected literally almost to the penny yesterday, is that we still have too much size at 145 and 146. So there's a congestion of open contracts through a series of about 5 or 6 strike prices. And we want to keep an eye on that, because what we want to be able to identify is that come next week, are those contracts lifting up and are they rolling over? So that's one of the big questions that I have. I'm not saying that we can't go north of 145 or 146, but just be cautious, because if we decide to, and I've noticed this on multiple occasions as well too, is that now that everyone who's been underwater from last week's expiration cycle, there's nothing that you can do. They hedge aggressively, and that can also send the stock to the downside. So keep an eye on that. If we do trade below 145 for the remainder of the week, then what I'm going to look for is next week, are those contracts being lifted to higher strike prices? And if they're not and they stay stagnant, then I'm going to say, hey, we're going to trade in this range until I see them lifted and until I see them start to kind of slowly decay or go higher in increments. Okay, I'm out of TQs here. That volume really stepped in. I don't want any part of that. I have no issues hopping out there, especially if the market's going to break out and some of these names are going to follow suit. Then I'm going to look to participate on the long side. We didn't get that breakdown to the volume-weighted average price. This could just be an additional liquidity grab, which is I'm getting the feeling, because we do have that shelf-type price action. Be patient, wait for that opportunity. Took a small L on TQs right now, but we had a half-decent long on it earlier.
All right, guys, what's it called? Intel is really going here, so it probably behooves us to have a quick gander at INTC. Guys, we are 562, 5.5 now. 2162, 5.5%. INTC aggressively higher at the moment, looking to possibly go 6% right now. Oops, sorry, it didn't update there. There's the chart on INTC for those who are following. What a move up on this name. Still no headline that I'm seeing quite yet, just getting the price spike notification. But Jared just confirmed she's still seeing nothing on her end. So we'll keep tabs on this one. Obviously, anything that we get, we will let you know. But INTC right now, breakout through, I want to say that $21 area. It looked more like 2090, but we always try to round up. It's continuing to go here. So high of the day, 67. We just printed that 67 high day right now. So keep your eye on INTC if you're interested in this one. Good continuation. I don't know. We're not typically trading these ones, so I don't really have an entry. But on the 5-minute. Let me have a look there. We're well extended away from the 10 exponential moving average. So it feels like, you're just punching in on the highs right now on INTC, but a fantastic look. No question about it. Again, nothing new coming in on my blotter on INTC. We'll keep you guys apprised of that. You always wonder, these algos that react to these news headlines, what news service are they using? We're obviously news service peasantry over here, you know what I mean? Oh, no, we're 10 minutes deep into the breakout, we have no idea what the hell's going on. Who are these guys using over there,
bro? You gotta get on the phone with these guys.
You gotta get on the phone with them, man. I need answers, baby.
And see what's going on. We need clearly service. And what their insiders, a little insider info would never hurt anybody.
And remember when quantum started breaking out after the election, and everyone was wondering what the hell quantum was breaking out for, and then we got the Google headline, I think 2 weeks deep. It's like, okay.
Somebody knew a little something.
If I'm the SEC, I'm auditing everybody who punched in large size from this day to that day. You can't tell me that's not hard. That's hard to do these days, right? You can probably do it in a second.
Team Pelosi.
So Team Pelosi, bro. What's going on there, Katina, man? Apparently Snapchat's breaking out. We're going to go to Adair in a second while we show you guys SNAP, Assassino, Alke. Their big move up. Here it is. Snap plans to sell lightweight consumer AR glasses, reports TechCrunch. Who are these TechCrunch people? But they got that what is his name? Sam Spiegel or something? Sam Spiegel. Thank you, Adara. So there it is. Adara, you've got news. Tell us what's up. Evan, that's
so we're gonna take a look here at HIMS, hims and hers. Unclear if I can't really get a time on this story. I'm still not seeing it in Benzinga, but either way, it's worth noting this just came in my blotter. Eli Lilly's been really strong today. Apparently, at some point today, they came out and said they're only going to be partnering with telehealth firms that stop selling copycat versions of their weight loss drugs. Well, that's going to rule out Hims and Hers. So Hims and Hers here apparently not likely to partner with Eli Lilly anytime soon. This one super weak on the day. Cannot find if this story is brand new, if it's just being recirculated here on X, but either way, HIMS to the downside. Meanwhile, Eli Lilly in a day that's been fairly choppy for lots of the market, really strong today. Back to you.
All right, beauty.
There you go.
Still looking for Intel. Nothing on Intel still, guys. We've got that Snapchat headline, quick as you like, but we're getting bub-kiss right now on that Intel headline. So keep you guys updated. Anything you got, Joseph?
Yeah, I just punched Snap here.
Something happened on Uber. Sorry to have to interrupt.
Uber,
Neil just talking about Uber.
As well too.
I'm not seeing it, Neil.
Yeah, it's tanking. Uber's tanking as well.
Oh, I clicked the wrong one.
Yeah,
my bad.
You hit Uber instead.
Not clicked on the line. Here it is.
There you go. A big move to the downside in Uber. I'm long Snap on that volume spike just to look for a pop-up below those specific levels. If we don't get it, then we'll just hop out small size. Adara, what do you got for us?
Get it, Dara.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know, I'm seeing here a lot of people circulating on X for Uber. I'm not seeing a brand new news catalyst or anything, but people are talking about how apparently the first ever Tesla Model Y RoboTaxi is just driving around without anyone in the driver's seat on public roads in Austin, Texas. People are getting really excited about this, so lots of hype here on TSLA. Unclear if that's the reason for this UBER drop, but we know with regards to this autonomous driving related catalyst that UBER and TSLA can kind of move together or opposite one another. Back to you.
That's really interesting.
We'll take it. I mean,
why not, right?
Yeah, it's about time. This is exactly what we want to see from Elon. So I'm
Get
glad
it, Elon.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's finally getting this rollout happening. And I want to see a lot more. I want to hear. I should call my buddy that lives in Austin to see. Oh, I told you that I have a good friend that lives in Austin and he works.
Another city that you like in Texas.
I've never been.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, I'm
Dallas.
just joking.
Yeah. No, but I heard Austin's a good time. No, he works in the EV space.
Okay.
And we're actually, he named electric. There's a street called Electric Drive in Austin.
No.
And he actually got to name it. So which is
You kidding?
Yeah, I swear.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get him on here. And
Yeah, man, bring him on.
He's from Austin because he's in Austin and he works in the EV space.
That's fantastic. Are you kidding, dude? Bring him on. Yeah, no question about it.
All right, we'll do that. Maybe I'll message him. I'll message him tonight to see what he's up to. So
I think that's fantastic,
what do you guys
man.
think about that there? So
Absolutely.
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah,
I'd love to hear what he has to say. Obviously, he's probably, there might be some confidentiality stuff, but whatever you can tell us.
Exactly. I'm going to message him tonight. I'm glad that I kind of thought of it like that.
Yeah.
And so he actually works in the EV space and named Electric Drive in Austin, Texas, for those who are familiar with that. So yeah, we'll get in touch with.
Yeah. Anybody in Austin know that spot?
Yeah.
Can you? Let us know. That's a fantastic.
So Ron Johnson might know. Can you confirm
Get it,
Electric
Ron.
Drive? I'm pretty sure that's the name of the street there. But yeah, he did a commercial not too long ago. A couple of years ago, he sent it to me. Yeah, a good friend of mine that I met.
Should be super interesting to see. Like, what they're talking about now, not just robo-taxis driving around, but self-deliveries.
Yeah.
Like, you buy a Model Y online and it drives to your house.
Isn't
that
that
sick?
is so cool.
Of
right?
course,
Yeah,
like
that is so cool.
schlepping to a dealership like a schmuck.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Yiddish.
Who would
right
ever
there,
do
but
that?
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. When you can just get it to drive straight to your front door.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that like, it's obviously, more of a superficial thing, but it'll get a lot of people.
How much lazier do you think we can get as a
I can get a little bit lazier, bro. And the thing is, I don't get lazier. I reassign my time.
You reassign.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, I'll do something different with that time.
So we'll put it in this instance. Okay, so you get the Model Y delivered.
Okay.
That's 40 extra minutes in the gym.
Once every 4 years. Fantastic. You know what I mean?
40
Like,
minutes we
if
can
that's
never
not
get-
saving time. No, but like, you know what I mean
No,
for real though, right? Like,
obviously, right?
there's other things that
other
you can.
things that we can most definitely be doing.
No question about it. So we'll keep tabs on that. All right, we're kidding, guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's more of a gimmick than anything else. I don't think that's going to move the needle. But the technology that's allowing it to deliver, self-deliver, that is, to your house is going to be the same technology that can drive you around or drive other people around while you're at work. And that's kind of been the theme, so to speak, that you can have a Tesla and it can be out there making money for you. We'll have to see how that all works IRL. Right now, it is still just in the beta phase, so keep tabs on all that. Sharif, I would love it to also deliver my Grubhub order. So you bring up a really good point to New York Sense, and the thing about that is They don't want these bigger vehicles driving around food and stuff like that. They think it's super inefficient use of energy. So you have a big Model Y, you know, driving around like a little paper bag that's bringing your food. So what the move here is for those smaller kind of like autonomous things or the drones. Obviously, I'm sure you guys have seen it in China. They have these lockers that the drones deliver your food in, and then you just go with your phone app, and I think everything's WeChat there. You basically scan the locker, and then it gives you your food. And those lockers are kind of just all over the place. And so when you order from any of them, it tells you where the local locker is, when is assigned to you, etc. You guys know the drill. So that is, I think, a more efficient use of the energy there. Guys, I got stopped out again over here of GELS as this one came down aggressively. So it lost that $3 area, so we're all out of that, but we're still holding our position in NVTS over here, looking for a volume-weighted average price hold and a move back up. Tell me what's up, Adira.
Flurry of headlines that I want to mention here briefly coming through. TSLA looking really nice here, bouncing off that 316 level. As I mentioned, lots of excitement here on X about these upcoming RoboTaxis. Elon Musk chiming in, talking about the simply beautiful design, quote unquote. So good look here, TSLA getting this hype and getting this bounce here off of that 316 level. Keep an eye on as well on AI plays both here and in China, because we do have comments coming through here from artificial intelligence and crypto czar David Sachs. He's saying that China is only about 3 to 6 months behind the U.S. in artificial intelligence. Jensen Huang has said pretty similar things too. But last but not least, I think this might be one of the more interesting things here. We know that it's been on watch for a while. Who is Donald Trump going to pick to be the next head of the Federal Reserve? Well, for a while, we were thinking it was going to be this guy, Kevin Warsh. Now, Bloomberg reporting that Scott Bessent, U.S. Treasury Secretary, is going to be the top contender. As of 4 days ago, Donald Trump said that he's going to have his pick for the new Fed Reserve Chair soon. We're going to have to wait and find out who it is. But either way, this is being discussed pretty heavily right now. We'll have to wait and see. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adira. Just keeping an eye here on anything that could be coming in for Intel. I'm still not seeing anything on Intel. It's literally at the high of the day right now, INTC, 2171. It's at 68s over here. So I'm just looking for any news on Google, because certainly I have nothing on my blotter, guys. So INTC continues to move up here quite aggressively. Keep your eye out on that. Wisp away. They deliver to your address. You put landing mat in your yard and the drone lands there. This is out, I'm assuming, Ireland, Wisp away. Shout out to you. That's interesting. Yeah, they do it a little differently, as I mentioned. In China, you get that locker specifically. But I know that Walmart now is delivering things directly to your address. I think in Texas. I'm not sure if they're doing it in California. Was it Walmart or was it... So Walmart, was it Amazon? Probably both. In any event, yeah, I think that is probably where the future is going there, guys. So we'll keep all that, we'll keep all that, close by. All right, guys, keeping an eye here on some names that are not doing what the market is doing. Netflix, for whatever reason, selling off today, 3% to the downside, losing that $1,200 area. Very weak today on NFLX. I wonder if that had anything to do with the acquisition that we talked about today with Hulu and Disney. I don't think that's probably it. I'm looking on my blotter to see if there's anything on Netflix right now or from earlier today. Obviously, we had probably just gotten into all-time highs again. No, we're in a 3-day pullback right now. So 3-day negativity here for NFLX, but very much near all-time highs at that 63, 1260, and now we're down below 1200 at 1187. The Scott Bessent is now being considered as a possible candidate for the next Fed chair. When does Jerome Powell's term expire? Do you know?
Yeah.
May?
Let's go.
Next May. Yeah, let's find out.
Final year. Let's go Snapchat.
Is he? Is that his final year? Let's find out with Chat over here. Apparently, Chat's working now. Okay. So let's go and do this. So when is
do your thing, Chat?
Actually, I got to go to midday queries. There we go. I don't want to be littering that. When is Jerome Powell's term expiring? Let's see. Come on, get it right, Chat. May 15th, 26. Okay. Yeah, Katina, man, you're right on. You're a month off, but no problem.
Never mind ChatGPT, you got Katina Man there.
Yeah, I know, right? Intel still going here, guys. So yeah, that's really interesting. Obviously, we've seen that before. Janet Yellen held the Fed chair position, then she ended up being Treasury Secretary. Scott going to do it in reverse, so to speak. He's Treasury Secretary and now possible Fed chair president. You got to wonder, though. You got to wonder about Donald's selection to put him in there. He can't have his way with Jerome. Jerome won't cut rates. No. Does he get what he needs from Scotty Bessett? Is that what the move is here?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think Scotty Bessett lies down, though.
Yeah, see, that's not a good thing. I got stopped out of Snapchat there. Don't usually trade this thing from an intraday standpoint. No continuation. But yeah, there you go. To add to that point there, Sharif,
yes, sir.
Does that make the Fed a political entity if...
Oh, yeah, or do they lose their neutrality? Yeah, exactly.
Right? Exactly, so...
Big Spile. $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Big Spile. Walmart delivers anything to me sometimes within hours, and I am 40 to 50 minutes away from the nearest one. Amazon missing out on those cheap groceries. Thank you, Big Spile. Thank you for giving us context as well, because we don't have anything delivered up here by drone, so it's nice to see what you guys are doing down there and what to expect for us over here. Shout out to Big Spile. We're talking, obviously, about the drone deliveries in China. Jay Lee, Sharif. The funniest part is that the POTUS thinks the Fed decision is up to the chair. He still does not understand the market bond rates set what the Fed can and can't do. Should be funny. You bring up a very good point, Jay. The bond market dictates a lot of what the 10-year does. No question about that. And also, it's a committee, right? So everybody has to vote in the same way, or usually they don't actually all vote the same way, but everybody always talks about it's a chair-dominated committee. So the Fed chair basically dominates the FOMC. Whether or not that's true IRL, that's what I hear. Adair, what's up?
I want to say as well, and I mentioned this when I initially was talking about here, these reports about Scott Bessett potentially being a contender. There's another contender that Donald Trump is talking about a lot himself that I think we should talk about really quickly here as well. His name is Kevin Warsh. This is just what really the only good photo I could find of him where he was not blurry. He's on the Coupang board. He's on a lot of boards here, Kevin Warsh. Now, Donald Trump has actually floated him around a couple different times here as a potential replacement once Fed Chair Jerome Powell's term expires. And it's worth noting, too, we know, he actually was a former governor on the board, so he served on the Federal Reserve before. The thing with Kevin Warsh is, as of late, he seems to spend a lot of time posting or writing here anti-Federal Reserve articles. They've been published a couple different places. Clearly, Kevin Warsh, not a fan of how they're currently running things. He could be an interesting choice as well. And again, it's been reported for a while here that he's Donald Trump's first pick. Back to you.
Dara, for that. Apparently, Elon... oh, it is.
Got it right here.
There it is. Okay, first ever Tesla Model Y robotaxi with no one in the driver's seat spotted testing on public roads in Austin. Yeah, prior to that, you guys saw the videos I showed you guys a few weeks ago. You got it?
Yep.
All right.
We'll make sure we
so no audio there, but this is basically it. That's a new Juniper Model Y.
Nice.
No,
there's my buddy right there. No, I'm just
is that the older one behind it? Just let me see quick.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see it actually stop for pedestrians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, those are both the new ones right there.
What kind of fleet is that? That's not really
Yeah, well, there you go, man. I mean, there was only supposed to be 10 to 20 to start, Joseph.
Oh,
so.
was there? Okay.
Yeah.
We got 10% of that, so.
All right, Big Spouse. Sorry, not by drone, by drivers, but it won't be long, and still amazing living rural and getting your groceries and stuff delivered same day, saves literally hours a week. I bet, Big Spile, but what I was talking about are drone deliveries. Maybe you're throwing me off here. No, we're talking about basically the idea that, you were misusing these larger vehicles and all the energy they consume to deliver these super small parcels. And that's what everybody complains about right now. When an Uber Eats or a DoorDash or on this side of the border, Skip the Dishes, they come in a big bulbous car to give you a small bag like that. A lot of people saying, it's not the best use of energy. We'll have to, it's the best we have right now. So until we can kind of improve that, that's what we've got. So that's why I was talking about that, Big Spile. And I was talking about China, how they do everything, drone deliveries based on the locker system and that whole thing. So that's a look there. Anything else you want us to look at, guys? It's about, it's a bit of a slower day today. These small cap gappers really not really moving a whole lot here in the midday. I'm keeping my eye on the blotter to see if anything is moving, anything afoot. MRIN was one that we talked about earlier. This one can't seem to shake the pre-market high that we got into. Let's flip to the 5 here on MRIN, and that aftermarket high. Still keeping an eye on this one, been very consolidative. You could have had a good trade here if you traded the range, but that's not really my cup of tea. That one is up 80 some odd %. We also had ARAI that was moving up quite aggressively up today. Let's just flip this over here. GELS as well. I was involved in that, got stopped out a bunch of times. We also had LVWR. That's trading near highs right around $8, but very much in a consolidative phase right now between that 820 and 790. What else was there? KWM, which is the one that got me in trouble, was very positive on it and then ended up giving back everything and then some on KWM. So I hate this stock for ever and ever more. This one, though, QSG, continuing to put in higher highs and higher lows. What is this? QuantaSing, China-based company mainly engaged in the provision of adult learning courses. This sounds like HKD. Wasn't HKD doing that adult learning back in 2022? Anyway, QSG, guys, a new entrant in the small cap gapper world. 990 high, back down here 9.5, but holding that 10 exponential moving average quite well. QSG is the ticker. I didn't put that up there. I do apologize. QSG. Yeah, so we'll throw that one up on there. I could be absolutely persuaded to weasel into this one if it is appropriate. So keep tabs on that one. Involved in this trade right now on NVTS. It's going against me over here. So we'll have to decide what to do with this one here. Joseph, what do you got?
Yeah, good luck there, guys. So I tried for the continuation here on Snapchat. Just didn't work out. Yeah, so I mean, it's just how this day's going. I mean, it is
same,
what it is.
Bro, same.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, it is what it is.
Same.
You know what I mean? So it's just
look
like,
at this. I just want to show you one thing.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just, it is what it is, baby. It is what it is,
man. That's just how it is, right? Like, it's sometimes it be that way, but yeah,
that's closer than you've been, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's as close as it gets right there. Yeah. All right. Well, it is what it
not
is.
close for sure, but that's funny. No, I mean, again, today is the end of my green streak, so I went on a 7-dayer. Today will probably be the end of it because I'm not going to be trading too much after this, guys. So 7 days today, red, small stuff, and that's the thing, right? I think that's a really, really key skill in trading is that when you have a day like this, you just want to keep those losses as small as you can. You got to take your stabs, obviously, but then at some point you just want to quit and just be like, you know what? Guess what? Tomorrow's a new day. If today's choppy, hopefully we find some order. Oh my days! Why didn't I think of this? Why didn't I think of this? I said this first thing this morning. That's absolutely hilarious. I said that to myself. First thing this morning. Tomorrow was CPI. And when I looked at it, I'm like, CPI, today's going to be choppy. And then today I'm like scratching my head, like, why is it so choppy? Tomorrow is CPI, so keep an eye out for that there, guys. 8:30 bright and early. We'll pull up some of the macro events that we got coming up throughout the week because it's PPI to follow that, I believe, on Thursday as well, too, guys. So I'm like, why is this market so choppy? And then sure enough, boom, we got the light bulb switch right there, guys. Solid job, Joe. I mean, why didn't? Again, it is what it is, right? So traders trade, others zinc. I mean, at the end of the, see, that's the thing. There's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes it's just not your day. And I think the best traders realize that. Today is not their day, and then they just stop. It's like, all right, see you later, because guess what? The market's going to be back tomorrow. And that's the boat that I'm falling in this morning. Again, I can't complain about a 7-dayer, a green streak, and I have one red day. That's no issue. All right, core, we got PPI tomorrow, guys. Consumer Price Index coming in bright and early, 8:30. Best believe Adara and Sharif are going to be covering that one, so I'm going to be looking forward to that. I know Adara's excited about it, too. Adair, what do you think about tomorrow's print? Are we coming in hot or are we coming in cooler than expected?
I think the market will tell me. I don't like to make assumptions about these types of things, so I'm going to have to wait and see what happens. I have found lately these have been pretty in line with what we're expecting, so we're going to look at the past. I would assume it continues, but who am I? I don't know.
See how I tried to lure you in there with that one to see what your suggestion would be on there, but no, good answer there, Adara. Yeah, maybe we come in line. Let's keep an eye out for that. But then we also got core PPI coming out on Thursday as well too. So keep an eye out for that. And then Friday 10 a.m. we might get a little volatility spike with consumer sentiment. So that's why I was like, Sharif, first thing I said this morning was tomorrow's CPI, so watch out for a choppy price action
God,
type
yeah.
day, right?
Oh, yeah,
and then throughout the whole session, I'm like, why is it choppy? And then sure enough, as you were walking away, it just
It hit
clicked.
you, eh?
Yeah, it clicked. So yeah, keep an eye out for that there, guys. I think it's going to be a good one. We're going to get the volatility to step in regardless.
And a lot of people are making the assumption, and obviously it's still an assumption, that we finally see some of the weakness or the inflation, excuse me, of the tariffs finally reflected in the print.
Coming into this print.
We haven't seen it yet,
We
right?
haven't seen it yet. So maybe, yeah,
So-
we'll see that.
Whether or not it manifests, I mean, like every economist and their mother has been predicting that we're going to see a temporary bump in inflation, the print as the tariffs take effect. But the good news about that is they're a one-time bump, right? Well, we'll see, right? I wouldn't use that word. Nice try there, brother. that word has got it's got cooties on it, bro. No, seriously though. So a lot of people are saying that we finally get that higher print. I haven't looked at the estimates yet. We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
I think we have. I think it's 0.2.
do we have?
Yeah, I have some.
So we're expecting a 0.2 bump month over month.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we
So
expecting
0.2.
year over year?
Year over year, we're going to be looking at 2.4%.
2.4.
Yeah.
You don't happen to know
Previous
what we
was
got last
2.3.
time.
2.3.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we're getting
we were cooler than expected.
Interesting.
Than last month.
Okay, so there you go. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not that all happens. Guys, I want to mention that Intel's on that good. And that good stuff that we've talked about in the past, that's not legal on this side of the border, Neil. And whatever it is, Intel is on it. It's not legal anywhere. You don't know that, Neil. It could be legal somewhere. I don't know, man.
I know where.
Oh,
I don't know where. I truly don't know.
okay.
I don't
Are there any of those type of jurisdictions in the world?
I'd have no idea, to be honest with you.
Like Amsterdam, but not? You know what I mean? Like, everybody get what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure. I think it's more socially accepted where it's being derived from.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about, Joseph. You're going to have to be more specific,
I
brother.
can't be any more specific than that, brother. Unfortunately, yeah.
No, seriously, guys. Intel is really going here, and I still have nothing on my blotter. Assassino, if we can show the chart. 2184 high day. Intel is up almost 7% now. We're going on 6 2/3% right now on INTC. You feel like this is a buy program that got turned on because usually this doesn't happen when we have no idea why, okay? This is not a small cap gapper. This is a $95 billion market cap company, just shy of $100 billion. It's not easy to move in this way. And just to give you an idea of what the float is on Intel, it's got to be in the billions. Yeah, it's a 4.3 billion share float. So yeah, to do this takes quite a bit of money here. So keep your eye on that. As soon as we have the headline, guys, we will give it to you. We still don't have it though. Benton, our old friend VG is strong again today. My average price $11.99. Shout out to my man Benton. Let's have a look at VG. Okay. $11.79. So you've been holding this for a swing, Benton, for multiple days. The Nat Gas adjacent name having yet a good day, yet another good day. We traded this multiple times last week. It started off well, Benton. Then you know my system. Like if it loses VWAP, I don't get involved. But it's trying to work its way right now above the volume weighted average price into 1670. Shout out to Benton. I see all the areas you guys wrote where this could be legal. I love how Mr. Ducats wrote Seattle.
Did it? Yeah.
Or Oregon, Portland. Have you been?
Oh, I heard it's a dump fest over there.
Hey, I didn't say anything, bro. I just said Portland, bro.
Hey, West
but I see
Van,
some stuff there.
Our East Van is a dump as well.
East
too.
Van, yeah. East Vancouver up here,
yeah, it's decriminalized there. I'm pretty sure still, isn't it?
They did decriminalize. Remember, they got into beef with the federal government because they decriminalized drug use.
Weren't they putting it in like vending machines too? Like you could just go.
Well, they weren't doing. They were putting it like in these what do we call it? Safe injection sites and stuff like that. So you go in and get clean drugs, Joseph. So you don't get that stuff on the road. Look, I hate to make a joke out of it because there's people that suffer from that stuff. We see it every day down here, but I don't champion that policy.
No.
That's
definitely not the best idea that's come out of Vancouver. That's for sure.
It is what it is.
Neither is Morgan Riley, but that's okay.
I
went there. I'm sorry.
You went there.
I'm sorry.
You're getting. I like it. You're taking a page out of my book today. You're getting all controversial. Fantastic.
Sorry.
All right, hymns. Julio Hims, thanks. Shout out to Julio. Hims having a bit of a tough day today, Julio, excuse me, to the tune of 5%. This was a money short off the volume weighted average price, but it's been a lower low, lower high situation all day for HIMS. Let's have a look at the daily. How are we doing here? Well, yeah, we're holding that range, brother. Look at that. Look at that $50 area holding like a dang glove. It feels very bull flag-ish here. It looks like it's finding support off the 20 on the daily, but yeah, we'll have to see how this one does. Not really of interest to me. Jacques, I'm in PDX now. They recriminalized it here. PDX, what is PDX? I was going to type in the ticker, but I feel like that's a city code or something.
I have a feeling it's Portland because they're talking.
Say that again, Ram? Philadelphia.
Oh, maybe.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, so PDX. Let's find out what that is. Portland. It is Portland International Airport. It's like saying the airport there. All right, guys, we do have a special intraday guest, and they're going with none other than Adaris. Take it over, Adara.
Yes, we do here. We have some guests. We're very excited to welcome here with you Kal Malhi, chairman of Lafleur Minerals, and also a CEO, Paul Tenier. So thank you so much, both of you, for being with us here today. Lafleur Minerals trading on the CSE as LFLR. How are you guys doing today? Thank you for being here with us.
I'm good. Thank you for having us.
So let's just get started here. We know your team here is planning an upcoming drilling program at the Swanson project with a goal of increasing resources to over 1 million ounces. So can you walk us through just quickly the scope and the objectives of this program?
I think before we get into the drilling program, just want to give the audience a shortened version of what Lafleur Minerals is.
Of course.
We're obviously a gold mining mineral exploration company, but we're different than juniors that are looking for deposits. We actually currently own a mill that's fully permitted. It was upgraded with about 20 million spent on it when gold was 1900 an ounce. We bought that mill in a bankruptcy situation, and now that gold's at 3,500 an ounce, or getting above that hopefully, we can restart that mill, and that's what our mandate right now is, to restart our Beacon Gold Mill and produce ounces of gold. And we have a nearby deposit called the Swanson deposit, which is where we will be getting our ore to produce the ounces of gold, as well as we will be drilling at Swanson to prove up further ounces.
Sounds really good. Thank you for going over that with us. So you mentioned the Beacon Mill. Let's talk about that a little bit more then for now. So the Beacon Mill and its tailings facility, as you mentioned, undergoing some maintenance ahead of a planned restart. So can you provide some updates on how that project is progressing as of right now, and what kind of timeline are you looking for this restart?
I think Paul can speak more to that. He's been more on the permitting side.
Yeah, absolutely. Be happy to. So we purchased the Beacon Mill back in November 2024, and since then we've been putting a lot of effort into maintenance and repairs of the mill. The mill had been under care and maintenance and also had undergone a over $20 million refurbishment by the previous operator. And so we basically have put a plan together and a budget of up to $5 to $6 million to restart the mill, and also to do some construction work and repairs to the tailings storage facility on site. So we've been very busy on that. We've also hired an engineer. We also have mill staff as well that have some of them former workers at the mill that have been helping us put all this together. So right now we're looking at being able to put the mill back up and running by later this year and back in full production by early 2026.
So another question here for you, Paul. Thanks for getting into that. We're going to get a little bit more into the Beacon Mill. So with this coming back online, what type of opportunities are you seeing right now for bulk sampling or custom milling from these nearby gold deposits?
Yeah, the main thing we're looking at is actually mining from our Swanson deposit, which is about 50 kilometers north of Beacon. So we've also acquired this project, 100% owned by Lafleur. And we're actually looking and submitting an application to the Quebec government to basically do a small open pit operation there. Because it sits on a mining lease, there's a lot less red tape and paperwork required. And we're in the midst of doing that with an updated scoping study to the Quebec government, and we'll also need to provide an environmental plan for mining that. Again, if all goes well and then the lead time is a matter of months as opposed to years, we would then truck the ore from the Swanson deposit down to Beacon Mill. So that's one of our main we could mine up to 500,000 tons there. Then we are also looking at all the bulk samples from adjacent properties as well throughout the Val-d'Or and Rouyn-Noranda and throughout the Abitibi.
That sounds really exciting there. Lots of potential for sure. I'm going to throw this next question here to Cal. Is there anything that you guys can tease for us with regards to potential acquisitions that could significantly grow your gold resource base within this region?
Yes, our situation is unique, and having that mill with the run-up in the price of gold, the mill is an amazing asset now. It's surrounded by gold deposits in the Abitibi gold belt of Val-d'Or. And, you know, our opinion is Val-d'Or is the very best mining town, and the Abitibi belt is the best gold belt. It's produced millions and millions of ounces. So around our Beacon Mill, there's junior companies that have deposits, ounces, and our goal is to acquire 3 to 5 million ounces that surround that Beacon Mill, and then upgrade that mill and be producing gold. In the next 3 to 5 years, we're targeting over 100,000 ounces, but immediately we're targeting 10 to 20,000 ounces a year. That may sound small, but at 3,500 US an ounce, that's pretty big numbers for a junior like us. So we're excited.
Yeah, it certainly sounds exciting, that's for sure. So you both have a lot of experience and background within the mining industry. And with that in mind, in your opinion, what makes Lafleur such a unique opportunity? I guess I'll start here with Paul.
Yeah, I think it's like Cal said, it's a unique opportunity in that we basically purchased a mill for very cheap overall, and it had undergone some major repairs and refurbishment. And basically there's other projects in the area, including our own, where we can actually feed ore to that mill. So we kind of fit in a smaller, sort of the smaller to intermediate producers part of the industry. So that's where I think we're really keen on. There's lots of companies that are actually interested in sending bulk samples to us because it's just very difficult or time consuming to get them done in other mills and other facilities.
Yeah, sounds good there. And so I guess I'll start here with Cal just to kind of end things off. Is there anything else that you guys want investors to know about Lafleur, about any of your projects before we let you guys go?
I think a quick summary is that Lafleur Minerals is on the cusp of producing ounces of gold in this gold market. We have a fully permitted mill. We have a nearby deposit that's on a mining lease, which makes it easy to pull ore from. And we will be producing ounces, and we're looking to do a capital raise. It's our first raise. We've self-funded this deal until now, and we're just going to the market now to tell our story. And as I said, we're a junior exploration company, but we're more so a near-term gold producer, which is very unique in the current gold market.
Thank you so much for outlining that for us and for being here with us today. Once again, say thank you to CEO Paul Tenier and Chairman Cal Mahi of Lafleur Minerals. Thank you so much for being here with us. LFLR on CSE.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great information there and great interview with Dara. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Cal, for your time and apprising us of your company. If you're interested in that kind of thing, you can check them out. They are on the OTC as well as CSE there,
CSE,
Venture.
yeah, exactly.
So not a bad look there.
Yeah,
Joseph.
good interview as well too, Adara. Thank you much.
Absolutely.
Much needed, and a lot of good information in that one. And apparently you're the new Becky Quick. A lot of people are saying.
Adara, did you hear that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Adara likes Becky Quick.
Sharif and I were literally talking today about how Becky Quick is the Sarah Eisen. She is like the best on CNBC. She also has a very fun X presence. So thank you very much. Definitely not on Becky Quick's level by any means, but please just punch and very flattered.
Ooh.
There you go. Yeah, I like
beg to differ.
Becky Quick over Sarah Eisen for me.
Adara LePage overall.
Oh, you hear Joey Options trying to get in your good books there, Adara.
Yeah, I'm already there.
He's like, Sarah, Dara LePage overall.
Yeah,
My
Dara
man's
LePage,
going
man.
deep.
I know your guys. I know Sorkin's your guy.
Sorkin's my guy? Are you delusional? Sorkin's my guy? I gotta like drink to listen to Sorkin, bro. No, I'm just joking. I know he's obviously a very intelligent individual.
Very,
I don't see eye to eye with Sorkin almost on anything, right? That's just my look there. But Intel is looking boom at the high of the day, right in the eye, Joseph, 8.25%. This thing is on that good stuff. It is well high right now, up $1.68 on the day, 8.25%. The high of the day, 22.23. What a fantastic move for Intel. We still have no idea why Intel is breaking out. I've scoured the internet. It feels like it is one of those technical breaks where a larger buyer is positioning into it, but usually they don't do it this obviously. Usually, you know, when you're sizing into a position, you do it discreetly. This is certainly not discreet. 8.25 on a name that, you know, can move 2 or 3% max on the day. So keep your eye out on Intel. Anything you can tell us, Adair?
I don't have anything to tell you guys about INTC, but I do have a couple other catalysts worth noting. For one, the Geo Group, this one made a little bit of a move, GEO. It's a prison-related stock. Apparently, I'm just seeing a report here, apparently the EPA has dropped its legal case against the company. So the other one that we mentioned, we all kind of reported earlier, Scott Bessent reportedly, according to Bloomberg, a top contender to take over when Fed Chair Jerome Powell's term ends as the new Fed Reserve Chair. Well, apparently, that's actually false. Again, I just want to clarify here, it is false that Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is apparently not a contender. White House confirming Scott Bessent not a contender to replace Fed Chair Jerome Powell when we do have to replace Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Again, as I mentioned earlier, Kevin Warsh is seen as a top contender. Sounds like that could potentially still be the case. But apparently, again, White House denying any reports that they're looking at Scott Bessent. Back to you.
Fabian, show everybody your hair.
Everybody knows Fabian's hair, man.
So should we talk about that right now? Or yeah, okay. So Fabian, everybody knows who the Chilean Nightmare is, right? And Fabian is actually thinking about shaving his head. And obviously the first thing we said to him, you have fantastic hair, donate that. And he was already thinking that. Needless to say, the dude's altruistic to the fullest. And so we're thinking about doing a charity. We're going to donate this to charity. Obviously, what do you guys think about in the chat? Throw up ones if you want Fabian to shave his head during the midday. We're going to bring the barber that is going to do it. He's going to do it live right on the show, and we're going to donate it, obviously, to a person who needs. Look at all that, bro. The dude, okay, needless to say, he didn't do his hair. This is all natural right here, right? So shout out to the Chilean Nightmare. I think it's a hell of an idea.
Keep rubbing it in, Fabian. Keep rubbing it in.
Oh,
what do you say?
He don't got the guns like you. There you go. There in the chat, Fabian. Ones are littering the chat right now.
In the chat.
Yeah, well, have a look for yourself, my man. Yeah, it's absolutely littering the chat, guys. We're gonna do a live. Shout out to Fabian, man. That's a hell of a move on his part. Yeah. Super altruistic. Mad respect for the dude. Thinking about other people.
Get the super chat. Here's some bucks for the shears. Go in.
There it is, man. There's the money.
Go in.
There's the money.
I probably definitely butchered that one.
Oh. There you go. All right. You're getting a lot of love in the chat, man, and as rightfully so, Fabian, because that's obviously very, very kind of you. And we all know people who struggle with alopecia and stuff like that, man. It's not a joke. All right, guys, but this is not a joke either. 9% on Intel, and we have no idea what the hell is going on. Someone make sense of this. Intel is a buy program to the high side right now. It is a 234 high day. It's cleared 9%. It's up $1.84. We're going on $2 right now. Keep your eye on Intel. Keep your eye on it for the afternoon show as well, which starts in about 8 minutes. What a fantastic look today for INTC. We're going to keep tabs on this one, and as soon as Adara sees anything, you can bet your bottom dollar or whatever currency you're using on the other side of that screen that we will bring you that headline, but there is nothing right now, and we have been looking, trust me. Dorothy. Mantooth is a saint. Maybe Sharif could donate his mustache. What, to the garbage dump? Like, what do you want? What are they going to do with this thing, bro? Are you kidding me? Dorothy, you're killing me, bro. All right, shout out to the Chilean Nightmare, man. He's the one doing it for real, though. For real, for real. I got that Arab hair.
Yeah,
the
very
Arab
good.
hair, it doesn't know what it is, Joseph.
it's thick.
Is it curly? Is it wavy? I got some parts of my hair that go that way, some parts go this way, and then some others go that way. They don't know what they want to be.
Hey, man.
They don't know who they are. So you got to fill this bad boy with a lot of product to calm it the hell down. It doesn't calm me down, though. It calms the hair down, right? So that's the problem with Arab hair, at least with my hair anyway. So, yeah, I do it for fun, Neil. All right, guys, we're having a good time up on the midday. yeah, I can say it. I can say it, right? I find, anyway, I told Adair this morning, I think racial humor is the funniest humor.
Yeah.
I never take that sensitive ever. Because I get what's behind it. It's funny. Right? But, you can step on some toes. As Adair was making the point in the morning, it's got to be done tastefully. It's got to be, it can't be like hurting people's feelings and stuff like that.
Our language is sarcasm, I think, to some extent.
I love language,
yeah,
baby.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I'm just over here listening to you talk about how much hair you have and it's going this way and that way. But then I'm just sitting in my desk being like, you know what, brother?
This guy's talking like he has no hair. His 90% of his head is full, and he's talking like he has no hair, man.
It's on the, as you would say, the precipice of just slowly. But you know what? I manifested this morning. That it's going to start to grow back naturally. I'm not going to do anything.
Joseph, things don't change on their own. You gotta have an input.
I can't do that.
I already told you finasteride. Leave minoxidil alone.
I can't do either of that stuff.
Why not?
Because look what happened in the first.
Finasteride doesn't have the same effect. One is hormonal and one is working on your blood pressure. That's the minoxidil. That's the one that drops your blood pressure. Finasteride works on what they call dihydrotestosterone. It's this molecule that binds to the hair follicle, and every time your hair goes through a cycle, it shrinks and shrinks and shrinks because the DHT, it keeps choking the hair cell, right? So the finasteride, or what they call it, Propecia, removes those DHT molecules from kind of choking the hair. It doesn't work the same way. I promise you it doesn't work the same way. You're not going to get the same type of thinking.
Sounds like I'm going to Turkey.
Boom. I just spoke for like 30 seconds there. My man didn't hear anything. He doesn't care. He wants to go to Turkey.
Sounds like he's going over there with the boys. Oh, man. Okay, this is a big-time signal I'm honestly playing. Obviously, I was listening to what you had to say. I got to test that out. But, again, first experience, full disclosure, I'll tell you guys what happened. So I was taking Rogaine. It didn't work out too well for me. Sharif knows what happened after that.
You're not the only person that it happened to.
Exactly. So, I'll tell the story. I don't even really care anymore. So I'm taking Rogaine. Anyways, I'm at the gym working out, get lightheaded, pass out, smoke my head on the wall, and then following after that, I had a concussion for about 2 months. So I'm like, I'm not doing that stuff anymore. I woke up, I was on the ground like this. I'm like, what happened to me? And so that's what happened when I started taking that stuff. So.
All right, well, it's the way it is, right? Like what I was trying to tell Joseph is that they discovered minoxidil because they were studying a drug to lower blood pressure. So it was designed for that exact purpose. So the fact that it's lowering his blood pressure is what it was designed to do originally. So that is the look. Yeah, I know.
Puts on Rogaine, man.
What's that?
Someone said puts on Rogaine. Big time.
Well,
like big time. You know what I mean?
For sure. If you have, issues with blood pressure, it is puts on Rogaine.
Does creatine...
What's going on? Katina Man's yelling about Tesla, and it's up big right now.
4
1/3%, Joseph. It just took out 420. Great trade. By the way, your boy Elon posted Model Y all around Austin, Katina Man. That could be why. The Katina Man is still long at 313, so that's very close to a 10 banger. All right? He talks about 1 bangers, but we're going to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, that was a good one on the day. I mean, compared to the rest of the market there, Sharif, Tesla has definitely been one of the better traders here. We're up 4% on the day. So, yeah, really good look. When things are working for you, you got to continuously take stabs at them, and unfortunately, that wasn't the case for me. We did get a nice move earlier in the day, but there was multiple occasions where we had the ability and the opportunity to get back into this trade. Unfortunately, we didn't. We tried shorting the overall market. That did end up working for us, but it was it's just one of those sessions where in slightly too early, out slightly too late, et cetera, et cetera. But again, it's just one single day. We're not going to cry home about it or anything along those lines because best believe tomorrow, bright and early, we're going to be right back at it, and we're going to find the exact same opportunities. Hopefully we find some continuation in Intel because this is a really, really strong move. And hopefully it's not just a one and done, Sharif. This is a big time short signal as well. So keep that in mind, guys. This is some things that we really want to keep an eye out for. So we went on this massive run where we go parabolic, but then now we have this indecision print. Are we going to completely revert this move and head back in towards VWAP? Time will tell. We have to be patient to wait and see. But if the top end of this candle is breached, then I'm going to suspect some more topside here in INTC.
Tyler Reverse, it's very simple what supplements I take. So in the morning, when I do my morning session, I basically get out of bed 5 a.m. I do a 25, 30-minute session. I take after that 1 scoop of protein, so it's about 25, 30 grams. I forget exactly which one I have. And I throw in a scoop of creatine. I'm taking creatine twice a day. I'm taking 10 milligrams. 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. And I only do that when I have doubles that day, when I do 2 workouts. On days where I only work out once, I'll only take creatine once, so 5 grams. In addition to that, I'm taking branched chain amino acids, BCAAs, during my workout. That is literally it. I don't take any multivitamins. I don't take anything, period, except creatine, protein, and branched chain amino acids. So that's my go-to. I find creatine and BCAAs help exponentially. Can I tell you, when I go off BCAAs, there's a marked decrease in my endurance.
Yeah.
BCAAs more than creatine. I find creatine gives you that fullness that you get. I don't feel like I get much of a performance increase except the muscle fullness, which is why I stay on it, right? And I've only been on it. When did I start? Like end of March.
Yeah,
I started end of March.
For me, I think I don't take BCAAs, but creatine. It's funny. I went and got blood work the other day, and the doctor was like, "Yeah, your creatine levels are obviously high." And I'm like,
"Well, obviously they have to be."
I'm like, "Come on, what do you expect here?"
To be expected, right? Yeah.
No, but for me, rep count. Say
it again?
Rep count.
Rep count.
Absolutely. Increase drastically with the consistent.
Really, I find that more with branched chain amino acids. I don't know why.
I think maybe I'll hop on that too to see.
All right, guys, I'm short Intel at these levels right now, and Intel has a topping tail candle into 22.5. I'm short 12s. Wow. It's about to lose 22 right now on Intel. We're over time about 30 seconds right now. It's time to send you the big boy show. It's Neil. It's Sean. It's the afternoon show. Get them, gentlemen.
Anyway. I mean, I don't need to take creatine.
I got to get connected.
Any of that nonsense. I'm just straight hardcore.
We're just straight natural.
No, it's just, we got gummy bears every now and then.
Yeah.
We're going to rock some apple